Now, let's meet today's teams. First, from the New York City Police Department, number 3, Sean Post. Number 4, Riley Brennan. Number 5, Will Cullen. Number 7, Greg Ells. Number 12, Kyle Gabay. Number 13, John Olson. Number 17, Brian Bozer. Number 20, Sean Hart. Number 21, John Antonides. Number 22, Chris Stemke. Number 23, Tyler Golarski. Number 27, Kevin Gomez. Number 28, Aiden Bohm. Number 30, Dustin Muccio Shrimp. Number 33, Chuck Hudson. Number 37, Mike Amodio. Number 39, Tyler Stark. Number 42, P.J. Byrne. Number 48, Ryan Dermody. Number 52, Ryan Bridgewood. Number 57, Dan Tuma. Number 72, Kevin Antonek. Number 77, Santino Ragon. Number 90, John McCann. Alternate captain, number 8, Liddell Harrigan. Alternate captain, number 18, Dan O'Donoghue. Alternate captain, number 34, Jim Hall. And number 41, George Ansoulis. The general manager and associate coach is Charlie Ventacinque. Also, the associate coaches are Dan Campbell and Jerry Kasang. And the head coach for the NYPD is Chet Wakey. Now, let's meet the New York City Fire Department team. 00, Nick Battaglia. Number 3, Jim Brown. Number 4, John O'Brien. Number 11, Lieutenant Julian Carney. Number 12, Stephen Romano. Number 13, Brendan Tracy. Number 20, Jeff Cool. Number 22, James Shea. Number 23, Sean Leonard. Number 24, Bobby Strafer. Number 25, Michael Van Pelt. Number 27, Thomas Esposito. Number 28, Lieutenant Michael Scottco. Number 33, Vinny Lopes. Number 35, Matt Herzog. Number 36, Matthew Gervasi. Number 57, Glenn Papa. Number 61, Matt Zay. Number 72, Owen Frizzalone. Number 77, John Beretta. Number 90, Andrew Satola. Number 91, Michael Weber. Number 93, Joe Gilhooly. Number 97, Billy Pascali. Alternate captain, number 6, Brian Elfont. Alternate captain, number 7, Derek Kern. Alternate captain, number 16, Stephen Kelly. And the captain, number 21, Jim Becker. The assistant coach is Pete Gillespie. Team manager, Derek Kern. And the head coach and general manager of the FDNY is Tom Reno. Local Ford stores are proud to support all first responders in our community. Today, your local Ford stores will be generously donating $50,000 to be split between the FDNY and the NYPD. Here to present today's donations, representing your local Ford stores, are John Billard and Boomer Esiason. Accepting on behalf of the FDNY hockey team is Jim Becker, and accepting on behalf of the NYPD hockey club is Dan O'Donohue. Thank you to your local Ford stores for your continued support of our community and its first responders. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ice the following members of the FDNY. Fire Commissioner Lillian Bonsignor. First Deputy Commissioner Daniel Flynn. Chief of Department John Esposito. Chief of Operations Kevin Woods. Chief of EMS Paul Miano. Assistant Chief Malcolm Moore. And Assistant Chief Mike Myers. Now please welcome the following members of the NYPD. Chief of Department Michael LaPetrie and his son James LaPetrie. Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny. Chief of Personnel John Benoit. Deputy Commissioner Employee Relations Maria Otero. Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Hendry. And DEA President Scott Monroe. Ladies and gentlemen, on July 28, 2025, while working at 345 Park Avenue, Detective Didarul Islam's life was tragically cut short by a repeat offender armed with a firearm that took his life. Detective Islam was born in Bangladesh and immigrated to the United States in 2009 in search for a better future. After becoming a citizen, he began his career in the NYPD as a school safety agent in 2019. But he was determined to do more. In December of 2021, he achieved his goal of becoming a New York City police officer. He served the city in the 47th Precinct for 3.5 years with courage and dedication to support his family and to live the American dream. Detective Didarul Islam was 36 years old and is survived by his parents, his beloved wife, Jamila, and their 3 young sons. His service and sacrifice will never be forgotten. On Saturday, November 8th, firefighter Patrick Brady of Ladder 120 made the ultimate sacrifice while operating at an all-hands fire at Box 2202 in Brownsville, Brooklyn. Firefighter Brady was operating on the roof when he suffered a sudden medical episode and went into cardiac arrest. The members operating immediately rendered aid to Officer Brady, but unfortunately he succumbed to these injuries that he sustained. Firefighter Brady was an 11-year veteran of the department who began his career in Engine 227 before transferring to Ladder 120. He served the department proudly and with honor. Pat was well respected for his dedication, courage, and commitment to helping and protecting others. Firefighter Brady comes from a very proud firefighting family, as both his brothers Jimmy and Brian are members of the department. Patrick was posthumously promoted to lieutenant and is survived by his wife Kara, his parents Dennis and Susan, and two brothers Jimmy and Brian. His commitment to saving lives and serving his community will never be forgotten, and his legacy will live on in the countless lives he touched. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Patrick's family, Kara, Susan, Brian, James, Christine, Amy, Molly, Donovan, Fiona, and Raylan. FDNY EMS member Salih Abdur Rahman made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty on March 19, 2025, after suffering a medical emergency while serving the people of New York City. He was a compassionate and dedicated first responder who answered every call with courage, providing comfort and care in moments of crisis. Salih is survived by his wife, Noura Abdur Karim, and children Naya, Iman, and Ishan. His service, sacrifice, and the lives he touched will never be forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Noura, Iman, and Ishan. Ladies and gentlemen, today we take a moment to honor Aaron Clark, a United States Marine and FDNY firefighter with Rescue 1, and above all, a man who showed up for others when it mattered most. Aaron didn't lead with rank or recognition. He led with presence, steady, grounded, and real. He believed that supporting others isn't about having the right words, but about being there, listening, understanding, and never letting someone feel alone. He saw no boundaries in helping others, whether they were fellow firefighters, veterans, or anyone in need. The Friends of Firefighters Aaron Clark Memorial Peer Support Team continues his work built on his legacy and dedicated to supporting others the way Aaron always did. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we take a moment to honor FDNY and NYPD individuals who we recently lost due to illnesses related to September 11th. From the New York City Police Department, Detective Keith Winchell, Police Officer Richard Ford, Police Officer Christos Kaletsis, Electrician John Whalen, Police Officer Joseph Colazo, Police Officer Daniel Spear, Detective James Meehan, Sergeant John Itzaki, Police Officer Marie Torres, Lieutenant Frank Diamond, Electrician Joseph DeSanto, Detective Stephen Marchi, Police Officer Ruth Ann Griffin, Detective Nick Babas, Detective Eric Paulson, Sergeant Eutheny Pham, Police Officer Robert Fleckenstein, Captain Donnie Ramoter, Detective Samuel Hagler, Detective Patrick Lighton, Detective James Kohlmeyer, Detective Bridget Sullivan, Police Officer Sergio Ruiz, Detective Robert Powers, Deputy Commissioner Joseph Herbert, Detective Sean Leahy, Detective Paul Maloney, Lieutenant Anthony De Palma, Detective Juan Fernandez, Lieutenant Arthur Anicelli, Detective Faye Lindsay, Detective John Hansen, Detective Marcial Valentin, Police Officer Jeffrey Vila, Sergeant Brendan Rooney, Sergeant Eric Carey, Police Officer Salvatore Sorrentino Jr., Police Officer Sean Kennan, Police Officer Roger Smith, Sergeant Patricia Larson, Detective John Mariotti, Police Officer George Triantis, Deputy Inspector Richard Bray, and Police Officer Karen Hill. And the New York City Fire Department, Firefighter Daniel McCauley, Firefighter Christopher Revere, Lieutenant Vincent McMahon Jr., Fire Marshal Ronald Mitchell, Firefighter Robert Okran, Firefighter Neil Gimpel, Firefighter Michael De Benedetto, Captain Frederick Sims, Captain Thomas Tracy, EMS Deputy Chief David Burke, Fire Marshal Clifford Krug, EMT Michael Scody, Firefighter John McCann, Firefighter Thomas Del Pino, Firefighter Timothy Westhall, Firefighter Stephen Seminary, Firefighter Robert West Jr., Firefighter Kevin Riley, Lieutenant John Brown, Deputy Chief James Riches, Firefighter Michael Carter, Captain Kevin Roth, Firefighter Peter Krosbeck,
EMS Lieutenant James McGee, the 4th. Firefighter William Van Ain. Lieutenant James Daly. Firefighter Eugene Schramm Jr. Supervising Fire Marshal Andrew DeFusco. EMS Captain David Fenton. Firefighter Gerard Lennon. EMS Lieutenant Jeffrey Halpern. Firefighter George Heck. Captain Walter. And here to sing our national anthem, please welcome NYPD Officer Heather Austin.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Austin. Ladies and gentlemen, we now thank our local sports stores again for their support of
our local first responders. Joining us for our ceremonial book drops on behalf of your local stores is Homer Esiason. Also joining us for our ceremonial book drops are the Brady and Lamont families. And now, once again, please welcome the Brady and Lamont families. We now ask that captains and alternate captains from both teams report for all of our ceremonial puck drops. All right, Boomer, Brady, and Lamont families, it's your puck drops. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for our heroes. And now for today's starting lineups, presented by Turkin, Heath, and McCauley. First, for the NYPD. On defense, number 5, Will Cullen. And number 72, Kevin Anthem. The forwards, number 18, Dan O'Donoghue. Number 27, Kevin Gomez. Number 28, Aiden Bohm. And in goal, number 39, Tyler Starr. And the starters for the FDNY. On defense, number 4, John O'Brien. And number 77, John Beretta. The forwards, number 13, Brendan Tracy. Number 33, Vinny Lopes. And number 61, Matt Zay. And in goal, 00, Nick Battaglia. Arena, are you ready for FDNY and NYPD hockey? Make some noise!
Travis Quigley, Cody Campbell, and Kevin Rodman. Ryan Brannigan between the benches, and here we go. It's the PD who will win the opening draw. O'Donoghue, Bohm, and Gumas getting the start for the PD as Gumas deflects that one out of play. On the back end, it's Antonic with Will Cullen for the Fire. Their big name out there, Matt Zay getting the start. He's out there with Brendan Tracy, and on the opposite side is Vinny Lopes. On the back end, O'Brien and Peretta. Starting netminder, as we talked about during warm-ups, for the Fire, Nick Battaglia, double zeros. And on the opposite side for the PD, it's Tyler Stark. Peretta puts one up the boards at the line. Antonik holds it. That shot's going to go wide. Gumas thought about gloving it down, let it go. Big hit on the wall from Lopes. O'Donohue in, battling with Peretta, getting some help from Zay. Zay's going to pull it out of the pile, pull it around the cage, and break out here for the bravest. FDNY right to left, first and third on your screen. Zay on the outside, drops it middle, redirected, save made. Rebound, where's the puck? Ends up on top of the net, we get a whistle. Hot start here for both sides. The Fire, Kevin, getting the first opportunity on net.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was a great opportunity over on the left side of the crease, and it froze Stark for a little bit. I know there's a Game of Thrones joke in there somewhere, Travis, but we're not going to make it just yet. And Brady, the start for you, what are you thinking about the Police? I mean, looking a little shaken already.
Yeah, they had that one little chance towards the goal. They had the traffic in front like we were talking about pregame, but the Fire coming right back. They're going to have to weather the storm.
Slap shot from the point off the stick of Frizzalone was redirected, went wide. Now it's Puppo with a firing wrister. Came off the back of the leg of Jim Becker. Highlighted Becker in our pregame show, a player to watch, the MVP back in 2011. Off the glass, through the legs of Puppa. Frizzalone, his partner, collects, takes a hard check there from Johnny Olson. Stemke puts it back deep. Frizzalone up the boards. Ragone at the point down the wall. Stemke back for Ragone. He shoots, deflected, they score! Santino Ragone, 1-0 for the NYPD.
Well, we talked about the start. The first shift a little shaky, back and forth. This time it's the NYPD who gets the opener. Traffic in front, get it to the point, redirected somewhere in there, and finds its way past Battaglia. Exactly what the NYPD needed to start this hockey game.
Yeah, might have went off a bravest stick there. It's the PD who will win the ensuing faceoff, and Anzulis puts it deep. We've talked to both these teams at length in the weeks leading up to this game, and both sides often mention how important the first goal is here at UBS, and it's the PD this year who get it. Last year we saw the Fire jump out and get the opening advantage. Can they respond here? Chipped out, and now numbers potentially. 2-on-1, pass across, shot, save, Battaglia on the wrister by Brennan.
Listen, I was talking about in the pregame getting Battaglia early saves that are easy to make. It's been anything but that. That first shot from the point, all right, you're going to have to give up point shots in every hockey game. It's just the nature of the game. But the fact that there was a screen and a tip in front, that makes it extremely difficult. Then the next stop he has to make is a 2-on-1, Trav.
Another face-off win here for the NYPD. It's Sean Hart, snapper on goal, and Battaglia will hold it. Dermody getting net front immediately, and Peretta yanks him to the ground.
It's only a matter of time. Of course, if you're new to this rivalry, expect a lot of physicality. It's a little bit of a slow start, I feel, in that department, but it's going to be sure to pick up here in the next few minutes, I'm sure.
And those two know each other well. Dermody and Peretta, they scrapped a couple of games ago as Peretta wraps it around to the weak side, cleared out by Sitola. This one going to be an icing, though, as Hart wins the foot race.
Interesting job being a referee in this game. At some point, you might want to say, hey, I want to enjoy the fights as well, but then you got to remember, you got to get in there and break them up. And listen, you know, I'm 6'2", I can handle my own, but I would not want to get in the middle of anyone on the ice right now.
Some big boys out there for sure. We're
Oh,
to
absolutely.
the right of Battaglia. 50-50 already up to $21,000 here. We're not even 3 minutes into this game. Battaglia with a save on the shot. O'Donohue hooks it out front again. Unable to get the stick on it was Kevin Gumas. Big hit thrown right there by Aiden Bohm. Chipped out as the bravest trying to find that response. It's O'Brien across for Peretta. Peretta returns it. John O'Brien settles things off the wall and out. Chipped off the boards again. 2-on-1. It's Zay. Toe drag Zay. Shoots off the glove of Stark. Gumas through the middle for O'Donohue. Pardon me, that's Bohm. O'Donohue's driving the net. Now he'll scoop it up off the wall. Saucer pass across, off the bench, Ragone. He fires, save made, rebound, another stop, Battaglia got it with the toe.
Pinball.
Lope's gonna put it cross ice, it clears. Trying to get on it, Tracy, as the Fire will make a change. Ragone creating some space, goes D to D for Cullen. Cullen sends it north looking for Olsen, broken up by Gilhooly. Puppa snaps it to Gilhooly, puts it in deep. On the forecheck, Billy Pascali. Short side pass, they score! It's Derek Kern, and it's 1-1!
So it's going to be one of those games, fellas. We're going to get some scoring early and often. Listen, that's just a bit of a blown assignment on the left side of the crease. That's where we saw Stark get tested from at the beginning of the game. Obviously his right, play developing, and that's a great backhand feed to the front of the cage, Brady.
What a pass that was from Billy Pascali. And for Kern, you go back to last year, he scored a goal in the same spot to get the scoring started. A little bit of a different sequence with that pass. What a play that was, though, and we're tied.
Great find right there from Pascali, as it's now redirected in. Gilhooly on the forecheck. And plays the body, knocks Ragone down. PD breakout, though. Here comes Olsen. Olsen just floats it towards the net, punched away by Battaglia. Scooping it up, Jeff Kuhl. Turnover, though. Put to the cross corner by Olsen. Puck is kept in deep by Byrne. Byrne knocked to the ice, though, by Pascali. Physicality certainly picking up here. Battaglia out of his net, stops it up for Frizzalone. 15:40 to go here in period number 1. 1-1. As we've already got two quick ones. Ragone for the PD, Kern for the Fire. Chance here. Bad angle shot. Stark just scoops it up with the glove hand.
Stark definitely sealing off his posts a little bit more now.
Yeah, he's wary to that one, Kevin, after that last pass from Pascali to set up Kern. But both goalies, maybe more so a little bit dangerous chances for the NYPD so far, but pretty much both of them under siege here early.
Down the boards, it's Leonard. Sean Leonard turns and shoots, save made. Puck is still loose in the slot, a high flip to clear for Antzulis. Foot race for it. It's the rookie Johnny McCann for the PD getting on it. Leonard cuts out in front of his own net, plays it off the boards, and it skips perfectly out for Elfont, but he couldn't catch up to it. Gabe with a drop pass for McCann, overskates it. Antonelli trying to put it north. It comes all the way back for Leonard, throws it D to D to O'Brien. Gabe with a big check thrown on Leonard. Seems like everybody on the ice has gotten hit at least once already. A little over 5 minutes into this game. Elfont, the assistant captain, takes a crunch from Antonelli. Played out front, Stark sticks it away. It's Peretta now. Peretta with a shot, kick save. Poked ahead for Dermody, trying to catch up to this one. He and Peretta come together once again, and they're still wrapped up. Peretta knocks Dermody down. O'Brien with a check in the corner. Pass to the slot through a couple legs. Big slap shot over the head of Battaglia from Antonic. He's going to come back to Antonic at the point, puts it to the corner. Over the stick of Peretta, but right to O'Brien. Has some room to wheel. O'Brien played his college hockey at Western New England University. As he dumps it in, gets a change. Wholesale there for FDNY.
He wore a C in his senior year as well over at Western New England, so you know he's probably one of the leaders on his crew in the fire department as well.
O'Brien, successful junior hockey career as well with the New York Apple Corps, as the PD have it. As Cullen receives it right through the middle, hits Gumas. Gumas trying to drop it through the skates. And he's dumped to the ice. O'Donohue in to help him out. Zay trying to poke it free. It's kept in. Back to the corner for Gumas. Gumas out of the University of New Hampshire. Cullen back to Gumas. Back to him. Cullen one-timer. And Battaglia makes the glove save. Rep and Ladder Company 169.
And a pretty good shift there for the NYPD. We mentioned how important the start is for both these teams, and they're not backing down from overall probably a stronger FDNY team, and for FDNY on that shift, and we're starting to see it from both sides. If it moves, hit it. The physicality certainly picking up.
Now, Brady, I know I'm the FDNY analyst, or I'm at least supposed to be, but one thing you got to tip your hat for NYPD is when they're on the forecheck and slowing down the Bravest, they look really, really good.
Slick pass from Bridgewood on the backhand, finds Bohm. Bohm through the middle, Gumas across. Hits O'Donohue, bad angle, but blocked by Zay. Up the board, skating this out is Tracy. Switches spots with Zay, kicks it outside. Zay with a wrister. That one rings off the mask of Stark. He's going to be feeling that one off the noggin for sure. Ragone over the blue. Pad saved by Battaglia. Rebound skips to Pascali. Fire get it out. It's Vinny Lopes on the outside. Pad save. Rebound trying to knock it out of the air was Pascali. Ends up in the near side corner. Ragone just sends it 200 feet. We'll take the icing here as Peretta back at the dot. And we get the stoppage. 12:29 remaining here in period one. 1-1 the score between the NYPD and the FDNY. I want to thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon here on the LI Sports Network for the 52nd annual FDNY versus NYPD Heroes Hockey Game. Travis Quigley here with Kevin Broderick and Brady Campbell. This game, obviously only 7.5 minutes in so far, but it's met the billing, and Peretta with another big hit thrown right there. Comes out to the red line. O'Brien regroups. Peretta off the wall. Gilhooly chops it in, avoids the check. And Zulis on it. Trying to backhand shovel off the boards. Olsen steps in, delivers a punishing blow there. Peretta fires a wrister in, and a save made. And now Kern at it in the corner. Gilhooly's asking Byrne to go. Kern does not like taking that hit from Olsen. O'Brien asking Zulis if he wants to go again. And now here goes Peretta and Stemke. Here we go now, Kern and Olsen. 2 in a row. Kern and Olsen with the gloves off. They're throwing. Peretta's got Wrights chucking. Olsen's got Kern on the ground. And here goes Gilhooly. It's 5-on-5. Absolute madness right now, just below us. Gilhooly, right after right after right after right on Byrne. They're still wrapped up.
He doesn't want to stop.
O'Brien and Anzulis still have their gloves on. They fought at the red line last year at center ice. Thought it was going to happen part 2. Peretta and Stemke went at it. Gilhooly and Byrne. Pascali was wrapped up with Antonides. Kern and Olsen already escorted to the box. 12:03 to go in period 1.
And there is not a seat filled right now. That one brought everybody to their feet. That's what the people were waiting for, the goals and, of course, the physicality. And it reached a breaking point here early, just about 8 minutes in. And, boys, that's a pretty full penalty box right there for both sides.
It's
That's
a
a lot
party
of
in the
smiling
box. It's a
faces.
yard sale on the ice.
Travis, I've never seen so many members of a single team so happy to be sitting in the penalty box at the same time.
Good luck to the refs with the equipment here and sorting everything out.
And you look around, like you said, Brady, nobody's sitting. Everybody's standing. Everybody's juiced right now, fired up for what just happened. 5-on-5, everybody going at it. Elfont and O'Donohue awaiting word from the officials on exactly what's going to happen here. The crowd getting louder. They've already gotten their money's worth, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I would agree. Couple goals and that, whatever that was, line brawl.
Took us to the third period, and more than halfway through that third period last year, before we saw anybody dropping the gloves, you kind of felt that it was coming, especially with how physical early on this game has been. A lot of hits thrown, and that hit from Olsen on Kern just below us here at the hash marks, that was the one that really set everybody over the edge. And what really caused the mayhem here is we've got a couple lax bros with the shirts off.
Yeah, that hit on Kern, Travis. You said right here at the half wall in front of us, Kern was down to kind of a knee. He was lower on the ice, and he got stood up high for his standard going down there. And, of course, FDNY takes exception. minutes. Felt the boiling point slowly rising there as the whistle came, and then eventually just chaos as it looks like we're just about set to play hockey again. But you see the fans on the Jumbotron having the time of their lives, and why not?
Just absolute mayhem here at UBS Arena.
I think I know who the fan favorite is.
And it looks like I see some Royals logos in there. It looks like one of the youth teams from the Royals getting a lot of love right now on the Jumbotron. This place is packed. This place is juiced, Brady. And it looks like we are getting an NYPD power play here. 2 minutes up on the board for Tommy Esposito.
I didn't quite get the signal as to what the penalty was, but that's a huge break for the Finest here, and the chance to go up 2-1 after all of that. Going to be without some key players, both sides are, but that's just how it goes after a line brawl.
I'm not even entirely sure Esposito was on the ice there. But nonetheless, power play here for the Finest. Can they take the lead back? Up at the point with Cullen. Right side, Antonic. Cullen back on the left for Guma. Shoots. Save made. O'Donohue down beneath the goal line. And Bohm out front. Back with Cullen for Gumas. Gumas. Antonic to Cullen now. It's Dan O'Donohue. Applied his trade in the AHL before signing up for the NYPD. Cullen for Gumas. Across, passes blocked by Matt Zay. Hacked off his stick but clears the zone. And a penalty going to be called here on Kevin Gumas.
That's a good call right there from the referees.
Yeah, it looked like he just got a hold of Zay, and Zay following him to the penalty box. Taking exception to that, but Zay could have been off to the races. NYPD still had another player or so back, but obviously a very dangerous forward there, even short-handed. And maybe not the most necessary penalty, but you see right there, just got a hold of him with the left arm.
So 4-on-4 hockey for the next 1:15, a little bit of open ice. And I'm sure both sides going to be putting out some speed as we see Johnny McCann, the rookie for the PD, stepping in for the face-off against Billy Pascali, left of Stark. Pascali wins it. It's Glenn Puppa for Frizzalone. Frizzalone back to Puppa. Puppa now to Lopes. Comes back to him, just softly puts it into the corner for Pascali. Scissor play with Puppa at the point for Frizzalone. Frizzalone out front, passes blocked by a diving Cullen. What a play there. It's Pascali keeping the puck in the zone. Frizzalone in helping. McCann takes a bump. Swooping in to collect his Antonides. He's over the blue solo right now, awaiting help. Elects to circle back as his defense making a change. Hart goes up now for Ragone. Ragone with the goal for the NYPD. The FDNY goal scorer, Derek Kern, who's currently sitting in the box following that 5-on-5 scrum. On the outside, shot deflected by Hart. Frizzalone puts it back around. Hart with no pressure will collect off the yellow and carry out. Sauces it over to Bozer, who entered offside. We get the stoppage. 10:14 remaining here in the first period. We're still 4-on-4 for another 11 seconds. And then the NYPD going to have a brief power play.
Yeah, we'll see if they can capitalize. Of course, the PD had a chance, took a penalty. It looked like Zay was maybe trying to go the other way short-handed here. Face-off just outside the PD zone. A crucial face-off here. You know, maybe not in the full sense of the game, but as far as the penalties go.
And for FD as well, it's definitely a little bit favorable for them. I think 4-on-4, they've been the better skaters so far.
We'll see who controls this one in neutral ice. It's the fire department who does. It's Leonard with possession. Sean Leonard played many games in the ECHL. As Zay's shot kicked away by Stark. Sean, also his brother Steve. Comes back to Sean up top. Kicks it over to Zay. Zay drag shot blocked. And the PD will clear. 25 remaining on the power play. Long pass. Cleared out. Once again, power play about to expire here. Just 10 to go as Leonard walks it out front. Backdoor pass, and Pascali is robbed by Stark.
What a save by Stark. Going post to post there, right to left. Got that pad down to close him off.
Tyler Stark out of the Suffern Police Department. Pass over to Zay, taken away by Gumas. Great read as he came out of the box. Puts it for Amodio. Wraps it around to the weak side. O'Donohue there. Back for Gumas. Gumas looking slot, nobody home. Bounces off his skate. And here comes Frizzalone skating out. Looking middle and trying to cut through. Sneaking behind the defense was Romano. He entered offside. And it looks like we're going to have everybody coming out of the box now as the doors open up and the players get ready to pour out. And here they come one by one.
Bench is about to get a bit more full here for both sides as we hit our halfway point whistle.
And Brady, they're already so full. I mean, I don't know where they're going to find the space over there.
Big rosters, especially the FDNY, might run out of bench there for their guys.
I mean, Brady, I was taking a look down the roster, you know, in preparation for this game, and I looked at it for a second. I was like, are they all on the team? I went down, I counted. I think there was over 40 different players who were on the roster.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
You know, when you look at that, that's a lot of talent right there.
Oh, yeah. They are loaded, and NYPD, kind of a standard NHL roster, if you will, as far as size is concerned. But credit to them, they are not backing down, considered the underdogs, I'd say, in this game. They got the early goal. FDNY, though, responds right back, and what a hockey game it's been so far. Very tight checking. A lot of shots kind of from the outside, from the circles. Some rebounds, though. We've seen Stark kick out a couple, but the NYPD's done a good job of recovering those.
And I really think that looking at the FDNY side of it, you got a couple concerns in the first couple of minutes. Like I was talking about, that good forecheck for the Finest was slowing down all the firefighters trying to rush up the ice. Remember, both of these sides should be good at rushing to things. It's part of their job description. But as soon as that game was taken away from FDNY, all of a sudden NYPD was shot after shot after shot after shot. But then nerves kind of settled a little bit, Brady. FDNY opened up the ice a little bit more. And their goal, while, yeah, it was a feed from down low, it was really off the rush. Yes,
it was. And that was a great pass there. How about that feed from Pascali? We can't talk enough about it. That was a head start going one way, of course, as a hockey goalie trying to look over your shoulder. Backdoor to Kern.
It's something I say all the time, Brady. Feeds from the back of the net, so dangerous in hockey.
That's where Gretzky made his money.
Antonelli going to dump this puck in as we are back to the action coming out of the TV timeout. And we're going to get another stoppage right away as the puck's flipped over the glass by John O'Brien. So again, all players from those coincidentals, minus John Peretta and Chris Stemke. Those two are still in the box. But everybody else has returned and should be taking part in their first shift following those penalties shortly. Left of Battaglia, and O'Donohue wins it. He's an ace at the dot. Antonelli back down low for O'Donohue, protecting the puck. Takes a bump from Jim Brown. Spun back up the boards, now pops into the slot. Antonelli going to pinch in. Puts it on goal. Battaglia safe. Rebound still there. Bohm couldn't get it. Now a backhand try misses. Another save. Battaglia gets it. Out front. They score! It's Kevin Gumas up front. The light went on. The official never signaled it, but the puck did go in.
We're still waiting.
Still waiting for the official call, though.
Let's get another look up here.
Are the officials going to look at the scoreboard to make this decision?
Yeah, they're looking up. Here we go. Can't really tell from there.
Camera didn't show them anything, so they're having their little meeting in the left wing corner.
Well,
here we go. This is a good angle.
It could be underneath Gervaisi out in front there, number 36 in white. As he gets down, and it is. It is. Gervaisi blocked it. It's underneath his body. The light went on. Looked like it was a goal, but no. Gervaisi was out in front.
What a block.
It's underneath his legs.
Wow.
This angle right here will show you when he lifts his glove right there, right under his left glove, right on that left knee pad.
That's interesting because I thought I saw the net move too, but yeah, you see the block there. The refs are going to come over to the scorer's table. We still haven't gotten the signal quite yet.
So what I'm trying to see is there's something else that popped the net there.
Because you see the water bottle move on top.
You know, it really could have been Battaglia making contact with the net, because obviously, you know, when you're playing at UBS Arena, everything is nice and fresh, so the twine there is so tight. That's what I think popped up the water bottle.
So the play is now under official review.
Here's a closer look there from center ice.
Ice a little too early on in the play. That's the initial save from
Here it
Battaglia.
comes.
And we'll get a little bit of a tighter look here. And again,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
I think it was
right
Battaglia
there,
that
right
moved
under
the
his
net.
right under his glove. It's in between his
It's
legs,
no goal.
kicking
The
around.
fans are reacting.
No goal.
FDNY fans.
And Gumas is adamant that that puck went in.
Because what they were reacting to was Battaglia's stick on the back left of the goal. Watch it. The back left of the goal, it's going to make contact as the block is being made. In a couple more frames, watch Battaglia's stick. Hits the net, water bottle pops up, puck is underneath on the block.
Yeah, that was all Matt Gervasi sliding out, blocking that shot. And as you see again, it pops out from his right hand into his left knee.
We're
and
gonna
that's
get the call.
It looks like we're going to have a conclusive call here. The officials coming out, and absolutely no goal.
What a block, guys, by Gervasi. Coincidental timing from the stick from the goalie Battaglia. Can't quite fault the NYPD players who maybe weren't able to get a good look at it. But what a block. Keeps this game tied with just 8 minutes left in the first.
That's
Now-
absolutely amazing right there, Kev.
My question is, Travis, where'd the puck go after this?
So, again, I'm going to lay this out here. Right on his right arm. You see him move there. It came
Yeah.
out from his right forearm.
Yep.
Hits his left knee.
Yep.
Stays between his legs. The Fire pull it out. We got the whistle.
Okay, but there was no continuation on the play either?
No.
Okay.
Play's dead. We get the face-off inside.
Perfect.
And here we go. Frizzalone chips it out into space for Lopes. Lopes trying to drop it behind his back. Broken up by Cullen. 8:05 remaining as it's chipped out for O'Donohue. And O'Donohue leading the rush one-on-one against Puppa. Puppa closing off the space. Boehm trailing in. 3-on-4 right now as the Fire had the numbers. Pushed forward for Zay. Snaps it cross ice to Vinny Lopes. Lopes is dumped. Absolutely upended with an old school hippie. O'Donohue over the blue as his line mates make a change. A backhand toe drag. Forced to the boards by Frizzalone. O'Donohue to the point for Ragone. Blocked off by Zay. He's able to clear. And putting it in deep the rest of the way is Tracy. Wholesale change for the FDNY.
Neutral zone. Neutral zone in the offensive end, I really think is where FDNY have dominated.
Kern with a slap shot save made. Stark didn't see where that rebound went. Pascali rolls and shoots. Blocker stop for Tyler Stark. Gilhooly looking to the point, taking away Olsen, who finds Antonides. Antonides, chip and chase. Battaglia going to come out, playing on the forehand. Olsen stops it up. Chance was blocked off. Now Derek Kern slides it to Pascali. Gilhooly driving. Now Leonard entering the play for Gilhooly. Pad save by Stark.
Those are the saves Stark's going to need to make all game.
Antonides solo right now. Trying to dip around Kern. Kern drives him to the boards. And Leonard in to take the puck.
They're not slowing down the transition right now. They got it. FDNY, it's too easy over the last couple of minutes to get out of their zone.
It's Julian Carney looking to the slot. Came off the skate of McCann. Now Puppa on the keep-in. Big kick off the wall. Anzulis trying to break out. Flips it for Gabe. touched middle, and here comes Brennan. Riley Brennan on the outside. Glove stop there for Battaglia.
You know, the other thing about playing a transition game for the Finest is that Battaglia is just not going to give up shots like that. It's just not going to happen. They need bodies in front.
And we saw on their only goal so far, it was traffic in front, redirected, we believe, by an FDNY player. There's a replay of that hip check. Just caught him around that right hip area. Put him on a roller coaster there, jeez.
Almost got scorpioned. Right of Battaglia. It's a PD face-off win, and Sean Hart's shot gets blocked. Chipping it out, Stephen Kelly, but a little bit too far ahead of himself. Hart gets the pass from his netminder, Stark. Trying to touch it middle. Amodio does clear. Elfont tied up, couldn't get it back deep. Amodio backhands it in. Frizzalone to Puppa, right back to him. Ramped into the zone by Kelly. Stark lets it go. Kelly on the wrong side of the red, icing going on the FDNY. Ozone draw coming for NYPD. 1-1 the score, 5:26 remaining here in period number 1.
Yeah, and things have seemingly started to settle down at least a little bit. Physicality's still there, not quite what we saw a few minutes ago, but obviously no goals in the last several minutes as well. It seems like the teams have kind of reached that feeling out period. We're past that a bit. Not that the physicality, the hitting is going to subside, but both teams kind of starting to settle in here. The goalie's starting to get comfortable as well.
Zay forward off the draw, hits Lopes. Lopes to the outside. It's Tracy. Brings it behind the net. Tracy hooks it around for Zay, protecting the puck for Leonard. Glove stop by Stark.
Yeah, I don't know that that puck was exactly going to go on net, but there was also a backdoor feed right across on the right post. So that was another needed save from Stark. And I don't know if FDNY has any scouts exactly on Stark, but they're attacking this blocker side quite a bit.
Zay and O'Donohue for the draw. Zay won it, but the PD get it back, able to clear.
Just the second icing we've seen all game, both committed by the Finest. But Brady, I mean, it's really never been dominated, this game that is, has never been dominated for more than a minute or two by either side.
Yeah, it's been a tight first period. Neither team really giving an inch to the other. A couple dangerous looks since the goals. Goalies have been good, but I think both teams doing a decent job of clearing out the front, allowing the goalies to see most of these shots.
One back to Leonard. His shot is blocked by O'Donohue. Potential 3-on-2 look. Outside for Bohm. Bohm with a wrist shot, glove save. Gumas trying to hack it back in front off the outside of the net. Gumas kicks it into the slot, just past the stick of Bohm, as it's cleared out by Tracy. Antonic for O'Donohue, just got the feet back on the right side of the blue line. Snapped ahead by O'Brien. Soft chip into space on the outside. Stark, glove save on James Shea.
Looks like Stark almost lost his net there a bit. There was maybe a little bit of room if O'Shea was able to bank that off the post perhaps, but a big glove save from Stark again. And we've seen them attack blocker side. I've seen a couple of glove saves as well. On the flip side too with Battaglia, it seems like the opposite. It seems like the NYPD starting to go a little bit more glove side on him.
Fire able to keep this one in. PD looking long. Olsen with a touch pass middle. Chris Stemke. Pass hits the back of the net. Antonides takes possession, moves it to the slot. Blocked off by Becker and pushed into the corner. Trying to clear the zone here is Shea. Puts it around for Becker. Becker slows things and goes across to O'Brien. O'Brien takes a check, able to still get it in though. Solid play there from the rookie defenseman Ryan Bridgewood. Bridgewood out of the 110 precinct, gets it deep, heads off for a line change. O'Brien, stretch pass for Kern, looking for a breakaway. Couldn't handle the pass there, and Anzulis rubs him off the puck. Now for Gilhooly, no shot. Anzulis pokes it back to the wall. Clears the zone, settled by Frizzalone. Puppa with it, Straight up for Gilhooly, now off the boards for Kern. And Kern's over the line, offside.
Yeah, close play right there, but Kern just off. 3 minutes left here in the first. Still a long ways to go in this game. Both goals were very early. Can either team capture a ton of momentum going into the locker room? Last season it was scoreless after one. And then FDNY late in the second, if you recall, scored 2 late goals to really kind of take a stranglehold on that game. Who will get the next crucial one here in this one?
Stark's going to cover this one up as Pascali got right in on the forecheck, forcing that whistle. 3:07 left in our opening period. 1-1 the score line. Santino Ragone for the PD and Derek Kern for the FD. The battle between New York City's bravest and New York City's finest. I've already seen a good heaping of fisticuffs in this one. As it's redirected into the zone by Pascali. Kern's on the forecheck. Collects possession. Looking out front. Pascali settles a bouncing puck. Finds Frizzalone. Drags, changing the angle. Now a shot that deflects off to the corner. Glenn Puppa on the keep-in. Pascali gloves it down. Across for Frizzalone. Opens up a wrist shot. Blocked down by Sean Hart.
Look out.
Stretch pass for Bozer. Got a step. But towards the end of his shift, Puppa pushes him to the wall. McCann in to help it. McCann up to the point, but missed the stick of Cullen. Split the defense, comes all the way back to Tyler Stark. Brings it behind the cage, wraps it around for Dermody, who just lets it go. Leonard off the wall for Zay. And now dumped in the rest of the way by Lieutenant Julian Carney. He scored the goal that was the dagger last year. Made it 5-2 and put the game on ice. Leonard taking a check from Amodio. Zay collects the biscuit. Looking long, but it skipped up on him. Took a deflection. Cullen meets it there. Sends it back out. O'Brien right off the bench, though. Ends up on his tape. Snaps it to Leonard. Leonard over the blue line. Carney couldn't drag the leg. Offside.
Down to $1:39 left in this first period. And I know I've said it a couple of times, but I really like when FDNY start using their speed, using their skill. Because of that, you really are going to look to NYPD to just bog everything down as much as possible and play a slower, more controlled game.
And I was going to say, it seems that after the fights, a few minutes after that, everything seemed to calm down a little bit, and we're almost at a little bit of a slower pace now here in this final minute 30, over the last 5 minutes than we were over the first 10 minutes of this game, where it just seemed like emotions were really running high.
Yeah, everything slowed down. I think both these teams are just focused on finding the back of the net at this point here late in the period.
Gilhooly tried a quick shot, didn't get much on it. Peretta on the keep-in. It's behind the net of Stark, scooped up by Pascali. Point. John O'Brien through some traffic. Glove saved by Stark as he got that one through the legs of Bohm. Nice job by Stark tracking that puck through a couple bodies. Got Gilhooly battling out in front there, trying to take away his eyes. Great game so far between the bravest and the finest as we approach the final minute. Comes around for Antonides, puts it off the glass, and it ends up in neutral ice as we enter the final minute. Olsen across for Ragone joining the play. Ragone shoots in a breadbasket save for Nick Battaglia.
And it feels like, Kevin, that's been the saves that Battaglia has made over these last 5, maybe even pushing 10 minutes here. NYPD not getting a whole lot done. Even on transition, we see most of these shots coming on. And FDNY has just done a great job keeping them to the outside.
Yeah, I think one big thing for NYPD is going to be these face-offs as they get a nice win right there.
PD been very successful in the face-off dot here so far today, Kevin. And with 40 seconds to go, who's going to get the last opportunity here in this opening period? It's Peretta for Carney. Trying to flip it in. Going back north with it was Bridgewood. He's going to head off for a change. O'Brien for his D partner Peretta. Through the middle of the ice to Carney. Again, tough time settling it down. Now gloved by Antonides, turns north. A quick wrister that's gloved and held by Battaglia. 14.9 remaining in the opening period. 1-1 still.
Battaglia just looks so comfortable on all those saves.
We talked about it a lot. I mean, for both goalies, facing shots from the outside like that, that's where they want them from.
Yeah.
You're going to shoot with your back to the wall. Every netminder across the country, across the world.
It's a stat patter right there.
They're happy with those, absolutely. A tie-up at the dot is going to be won by FDNY. Frizz alone. Swings it to Tracy. Tracy will wrap it in. Stark out to stop it. 5 seconds left. Puts it around the boards. Zay trying to put it on goal. Came off the skate of O'Donohue. And that's how we finish up 20 minutes of hockey. And it's 1-1 between the FDNY and the NYPD. Before we cut to break, quickly, Brady, your analysis for the PD.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good period. You're the head coach, Coach Wakey. You got to be pretty pleased, especially considering how the things have gone the last decade. They get the opening goal. They go on the attack. It's a point shot redirected off of somebody in front. I believe it was one of the bravest. FDNY, of course, they're not going to waver. They come back with a goal, but keeping things tied. Pretty back and forth period. No one really had an edge, I'd say. I think if you're NYPD, you got to be pretty pleased, but still 40 minutes to go. The next 20 is going to be crucial.
Absolutely. And Kevin, I mean, the FDNY, great for them to get that response, that goal from Kern. It came very quickly after the PD got us scoring started. And then you saw, we talked about the game slowed down a little bit. We saw the fights. What do you think the message for them is going into the room here in this first intermission? And what do you think they got to come out with for the second to try to get their first lead of the day?
Listen, I know this isn't going to be popular with the fans because everyone is here to watch these fights, but I really think it's in the bravest interest to stay out of the penalty box and keep the ice as open as possible because, to be frank, they've looked like the more skilled and faster team. And because of that, when they're playing on the rush, whether it's 5-on-5, or listen, you can make an argument if it's 4-on-4, it gets even better for them. But when it's 5-on-5 through the neutral zone, they've been the dominant team. And if you're winning the neutral zone and you're winning in the offensive end, well, Travis, by my math, that's 2 out of 3. That's above 50%, and that's exactly where you want to be. Now, on the inverse side, you might need to ramp up the physicality in your own end because when the finest have looked at their best, it's when they've had bodies in front of the net. Obviously, we had that big no-goal call. It was a proper no-goal call. But that scramble, that breakdown, that madness was all generated by having multiple guys right in the face of not only the defenders but the goaltenders there for FDNY.
And, again, like you said, Kevin, I think people are here. They want to see a couple scraps.
Oh, that wasn't a popular opinion. I'll fully admit that.
They got the scraps early for sure. I think we are going to see some more goals here in this one. But like you said, I think the coaching staffs for both sides going to want a little bit more discipline from each group. Want them to kind of keep those emotions as tightly together as you can. It's easy to get really high and really low in a game like this. You got 18,000 people sitting around here cheering, getting loud. Extremely excited for this matchup. 52 years, Kevin. There's a lot that has gone into this game, and it only happens once every year. We talked about it in pregame. It's the Super Bowl for these guys, and they're fired up. 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. We're going to kick it to break in a moment, but before we kick it to break, we're going to turn it over to Brady Campbell, who has a special feature on one of the charities that are very close to the FDNY.
The founder of the Actionable Innovation Institute created technology that innovated the way responders help us in the community. And to show his support for the FDNY and the NYPD, Bruce Schmother created the United Responder Shield right here in October of 2025. The shield honors the heroes that made the ultimate sacrifice for us to help keep and continue to keep our community safe. This symbol right here, got some messages on the back supporting our heroes, is the one that many will recognize that allow us New Yorkers to support those in the community, fire department, police, EMS, everybody, and thank them for the ultimate sacrifice, both on that tragic day and ever since, and of course prior to that as well. So on behalf of everyone here at LISN, Mr. Schmother, and all the proud foundations that have supported us, we want to say thank you. We'll send it over to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some more analysis heading into the second period. You're tuned in to the 52nd annual NYPD FDNY game right here on the LI Sports Network.
By Ownwell. Celebrate local youth hockey teams and special activations throughout the game. So get your tickets today at NewYorkIslanders.com/tickets. The New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute, founded by retired FDNY Lieutenant Rob Brown, has been protecting New York's bravest since 2002. Their mission, reduce line-of-duty deaths from heart disease, and they're making a real impact. The Institute has screened over 20,000 first responders, detecting more than 400 life-threatening heart conditions and over 1,000 cancers early enough for treatment. Serving FDNY, NYPD, and military personnel, active and retired.
My name is Stephen Callahan. I'm a retired bomb squad detective for the NYPD, and I am currently a senior wealth consultant for Mariner. The biggest mistake I see people make in retirement is not preparing for it. First responders need to start thinking about retirement very differently than most civilians. So that condenses the work-life expectancy and extends the post-service life expectancy. The last thing that anybody should have into retirement is a surprise that what they thought their pension was going to do for them is just not the case anymore.
Travis Quigley here with Steve Callahan and George Steiner, both from Mariner. Both, thank you guys so much for joining us here during this first intermission. We got some time. Just first, I would love you, we'll start with you, Steve. Just talk to us about what you do with Mariner and your career path here.
I'm a senior wealth consultant for Mariner. I've been retired from the NYPD for a whopping 3 months. When I was on the job, I was a detective with the bomb squad for about 5 years. Worked in the 32nd precinct and the 115 before that as well.
And George?
Director and senior wealth advisor at Mariner. I've been there about 21 years. I was on the advising side for 20 years. Most recently switched over to the organic growth side. And I'm still an active firefighter. I work in Engine 283 in Brownsville.
So talk to us a little bit about the work that you guys do with Mariner, with specifically first responders.
So Mariner has hired me to build out the initiative, working solely with firefighters and police. There's a very unique skill set and retirement plans that go into the job, and it really is useful to have guys that have walked in the same shoes, working with all the resources that Mariner has.
And George, if you could talk to us about why it's so important for these first responders to obviously have that financial literacy, but to have your help and assistance along the way.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the trust. You work with someone for so long, and as a fireman, as a police officer, you do retire on the earlier side. The job is grueling. It does beat you up over time, so you got to make sure you're prepared. You got to make sure your family's prepared for going into retirement, and also a potential second career. Because if you do retire young, you do need something to occupy your time and to make sure you are taken care of for the long haul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so important, obviously, that these guys, they're sacrificing themselves. You know it firsthand, Steve, that they're taken care of on the back end too. So can you just talk about a little bit what Mariner offers for our first responders?
Well, Mariner is an RIA. We offer full comprehensive financial planning. So a lot of guys are not even considering it. You know, this, like you said, the job is a very stressful job, and you really have to take care of yourself and your brothers and sisters out there. So a lot of times the last thing on their mind is 457 allocations or, you know, what their plan is afterwards. So if we can come in and provide that help and kind of ease that burden of outside the job, then they can worry about what goes on the job.
Yeah, that's, like you said, most important. Making sure that we can take care of those guys. They're sacrificing themselves each and every day. Before I let you guys go, I gotta ask, did you guys enjoy the fights at the beginning of the first?
It was outstanding.
Absolutely.
Right. It's not many times you go to a hockey game and you see 9 players in the penalty box, so that was a first.
It's awesome, right?
And just for the record, that was a goal for the NYPD. Should be 2-1.
So that was my next question. I know you're the PD guy. What's the prediction for the rest of the game here?
I would say 6-4 PD.
All right. And George, prediction?
5-3 FDNY.
All right. We got our predictions here. Make sure you stay locked in to find out what that final score is. Guys, thank you so much, Steve. George,
thank you very
really
much.
appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Second period coming up in just a little bit here on the LI Sports Network. 52nd annual FDNY versus NYPD Heroes Hockey Game.
Scan the QR code on the video board right now for your chance to win a free pair of boots courtesy of Hikes. You could be one of the 50 winners. Hikes, it's German engineered like no other footwear in the world. Period highlights are presented by the Live Rich Foundation. Coming soon to UBS Arena. We're now Yankovic, July 11th. And Nate Bargatze, August 7th. For tickets to future shows and upcoming events, and see even more events coming. UBS Arena, visit ubsarena.com. Now let's welcome back to the ice the FDNY. Ladies and gentlemen, our hearts are with the family and friends of retired Battalion Chief David Brown of the Bayonne Fire Department, a respected Atlantic affiliate official. Dave worked at the highest levels of hockey and helped inspire Bayonne's Battle of the Badges game. He was known for his leadership, mentorship, and unwavering support of others. His impact will be long remembered. We extend our deepest condolences to his wife, Donna, daughters, Caitlin and Kirsten, and his family.
Period 2 set to begin here on the LI Sports Network. Travis Quigley back with Brady Campbell and Kevin Broderick. We're underway. 1-1 the score. Ragone for the PD, Kern for the Fire. And a couple of fisticuffs early on in that opening frame. What will period 2 bring us as Lopes takes a check against the wall, gets it right back into the slot. Unable to handle it clean was Tracy. Keeps it in though, gets it right back for Vinny Lopes. Zay on the goal line. Stick checked away by Stark. And now it pops out for O'Donohue. O'Donohue dishes it over, now up. Colin trying to redirect it in. Bohm there, pokes it deep. O'Brien to Peretta. And Zay will shovel it in. Right back north for Bohm though. Puts it in deep and Peretta will collect behind the net. Wrap to the near side. Seats still filling in here. Everyone refilling their beverages, grabbing a meal during the intermission. Off the wall for Gumas. Gumas to the net. Toe save. Spinning try. Another pad stop for Battaglia. And Lopes pushes it ahead. Out of the zone comes Tracy. Tracy with the high flip in. Gloved by Stark. And instead of playing out, elects to just hold on and take the stoppage. 18:44 to go in period number 2.
Again, another sign that they don't really want to play too much in transition. Trav, you mentioned earlier that the finest, they've been good in the face-off dot, so if you're Stark, you might as well send your team there as much as possible.
The left of Stark. And 52nd annual FDNY versus NYPD Heroes hockey game here on the LI Sports Network. Got to thank Mariner for sponsoring the stream today. He's joined by Steve and George there as it pops out front for Olsen. Puts it over, rolling puck. Just could not get it to settle down. And now a foot race after the clear. On his horse, Jim Becker beats out the icing. Trying to hook it out front. Bridgewood playing the body. Bridgewood again. Gonna knock Becker down. Dipping past a check. Now a turning try. Save made. Rebound. Another stop for Stark. He'll poke it into the corner. Becker for Glenn Puppa. Winds and a big blast off the stick of Stark. Not many players shooting the puck harder than Glenn Puppa. A long stretch for Olsen. Battaglia out and plays it. Kept in the zone, Antonides takes a check from Puppa. And the FDNY clear.
What a shot that was from Puppa. We're at UBS Arena. That was close to Ryan Pollock level right there. What a save by Stark. Just got it with the stick.
Stark going to steer that one away. And yeah, we got to get a radar out there for Puppa. I played junior hockey with Glenn Puppa for the New York Apple Corps and the New Jersey Rockets, and that was one guy you never wanted to be in the way of his shot because it's a cannon. Thrown in deep, Leonard back to collect. Cuts out front right up the middle of the ice. Here comes Sean Leonard. Avoids a stick check, one-handed in by Kelly, but it's back with the PD. Hart sauces it through the middle for Bozer. Bozer back outside. Riley Brennan on the drop. Wrist shot through, and Battaglia keeps it tight to the body. Good look there for Johnny McCann.
Pretty evenly played start to the second here so far. Both teams with their chances. Once again, though, more to the outside. We saw the NYPD get a couple quick chances off the pads of Battaglia, but for both teams, really, no one's really there for the rebounds. Goalies have been giving them up, but keeping their opponents to the outside here to start.
Gilhooly puts it in around for Kern. Kern finds Pascali. Pascali rolling, but a poke check. Great job there from the defenseman Antonucci. Plays it around. Hart scoops it up through the middle. Off a skate, back out, and that's going to be sent all the way down. Icing coming. So another ozone draw coming up for the FDNY. The battle for the city of New York between the PD and the fire department tied up at 1, 3.5 minutes into period 2. Stark and Battaglia both been tested often in this game, as you both have mentioned, Kevin and Brady. And Brady, I mean, what do you think the PD has to do? They've been hemmed in a little bit here as O'Brien, after the faceoff win, gets a shot blocked.
Yeah, and you guys been talking about the faceoffs. They've been guilty of a lot of icings, a lot of freezes as well from Stark. Faceoff win percentage is great. You don't want to play with fire, no pun intended, with all of the defensive zone draws, though, against the team, because it can only take one, and the puck can end up in the back of your net.
And here's Zay. Played Division I hockey at Mercyhurst with Dan O'Donohue. It's highly talked about, always, the friendship that those two have with each other. As Zay's going to clear the zone. This will be an icing as Cullen meanders back and gets the whistle.
Now on the flip side, we see the fire department guilty of icing. This one's been a very, I feel like a broken record here. I know I'm sounding like it a bit, but a very tight game through the first 25, almost 24 minutes, we'll call it. Not a whole lot of dangerous chances when they've come. The goalies have played well.
And we talked about it. It seemed like the emotions were really high as O'Donohue wins at Gumas with a quick shot, glove down for Battaglia. We talked about it a little bit. It seemed like the emotions for the first 10 minutes were extremely high. And it kind of took that all-out 5-on-5 brawl that we saw for everything to simmer back down a little bit and both sides to kind of settle into their game plans.
Yeah, we really, even the physicality, like it's been there. We've seen hits, but nothing, obviously nothing close to the brawl and nothing really all that wild either. And just straight up hockey now. Both teams, now they know they're in it. They're in a tight one trying to push for that goal.
O'Donohue stuffs it in. He scores! It's the assistant captain, Dan O'Donohue, on the wraparound, makes it 2-1 for the PD.
The exact guy you needed to show up for the finest, O'Donohue, giving the PD the second lead of the game. Here's the replay. We're going to need a backwards angle almost because, gentlemen, we saw it from our perspective, and it was clear as day that it went in.
And you see it swept off the line there. That's our dead-on look from the Jumbotron. Like Kevin said, from the angle here, you could tell it crossed the line. It's 2-1 for the NYPD. And Brady, big-time goal right there from a big-time player, Dan O'Donohue.
Yeah, we talked about him maybe being one to step up before the game and just able to creep that one across the goal line. We've gone a while without a goal for either side. And once again, NYPD, can they continue the momentum now? Because, of course, we saw when they went up 1-0, FDNY had the quick response. On the flip side, of course, FDNY not used to playing behind much in this rivalry as of late.
Now, if I can just jump on that for a second, Brady, I think if there's one team stylistically that's better playing from behind, it is FDNY.
Chance off the rush. Ragon's pass was behind Gumas. And now carrying north, it's Vinny Lopes. Lopes, snapper, stick save, and Stark going to cover up, no rebound. After it kicks off the back wall, 14:36. Remaining in period 2. And it's Dan O'Donohue with the difference maker right now. That wraparound just squeaks over the goal line. FDNY sending out the line of Becker, Shea, and taking the draw right now is Gervaisi. We saw him had that huge block in the first period that saved a goal, kept it 1-1. O'Brien on the keep, gets it through, pad save, rebound, another stop Stark, and the third try is pushed wide. FDNY trying to get all over this one deep as Antonides felt the pressure and ices it.
Yeah, we've seen the finest just be very okay with just send the puck down and taking an icing if they feel pressured in the defensive end. And Brady, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really feel like that stretch right there was the first time we've seen a rebound opportunity for the Bravest.
Yeah, there have been maybe a few, but not all that dangerous. That was certainly the first one, Kevin, where we saw them get maybe another opportunity right off of it.
Got kicked back to O'Brien. Now a turning try from the captain, Becker. Ends up in the corner. Spun out front for O'Brien. Now to Peretta. Peretta opens up. That shot's blocked. Kicks right back to him, though. Another wrist shot try. He scores! John Peretta, top cheddar. We're tied at 2.
And there it is through traffic. Not a whole lot, but just enough to cause some confusion for Stark. Can't quite pick it up. Looking for it. And a perfectly placed shot by Peretta. I mean, he could not place that one perfect. Any more perfect, I should say, if he tried. Right under the bar, high blocker, get another look at it. Woo, in and out there. Huge goal. FDNY comes right back, guys.
An absolute snipe from Peretta, and you see on this angle here, lots of traffic in front. Right at the end, looked like it was a pretty clean look for Stark. But a bullet of a wrist shot from Peretta. You see there, Anzulis waving it off. He's saying, no, that did not go. We'll have another look at the slow down angle here.
Yeah, it looks under the bar to me.
O'Donohue requesting the officials to watch the replay one more time.
I mean, difference on this is that the call on the ice was a goal, though, Trav.
You are correct. We also did see a goal call in the first period, and now we do get it confirmed. It was a good goal.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of maybe hit just inside the bar and wrapped around, hit that back post, and shot back out.
So it's Peretta.
There are also a couple pixels there where the puck disappears completely, so that does mean it's tucked in underneath. Difference of when it hits the crossbar and then pops right back out at an angle that it couldn't have gone in on.
So again, Peretta tying it up. Once again, the FDNY find a quick response after the NYPD put one home. And now it's the Fire looking for their first lead of the day. Up to the point, cycling it back in is Satola. From the outside, shots blocked off the stick of Kelly. Came off the skate of Brennan. Puppa goes D to D. Now it's with Frizz alone, hinged back for Glenn Puppa. Puppa through the middle of the ice, redirected into the zone by Elfont, and snapped out of the air with the glove by Stark.
Starting to get some chatting after whistles. Oh, maybe something a little bit more. Linesmen were already there, so I doubt we get any gloves dropped on this little exchange. But, gentlemen, it was about, I want to say, this point in the period where things really started to heat up in the first.
It was, and almost forgot we were at an NYPD FDNY game. I feel like the cooler heads have seemingly prevailed since that point. haven't gotten a whole lot in that department. But once again, 2 quick goals, tie game again. The intensity going to start to pick back up. And do we see that physicality and then some pick back up as well?
Racing over the blue line, it's Cullen. Shot blocked. Battaglia trying to swipe it away. It's cleared out of the zone in the nick of time by Jim Brown. O'Donohue stops it at the red. Antonic through the middle for Cullen. Cullen floating it back to the near side off the wall. Tuma taking it. Looking around for O'Donohue off the glass. FDNY able to escape the zone. Glove down by Zay. Zay with the move, putting the puck to the corner, getting around Cullen. Couldn't keep possession, though, as it's Carney who knocks Cullen down. Tuma with possession. Carney all over it. He's going to pop out for O'Donohue, and he's got some space now. Spinorama on Gilhooly. Dropped it back outside. Leading the rush in, it's Bohm. Bohm trying to go back across. Kern picks it off. Kern. Forced behind the net. Played around for O'Brien. Back for Kern. 11:55 to go in period 2. It's Peretta, our most recent goal scorer, into space for Pascali. Trying to keep it outside. Ragona cross takes it away. Great angle there for the PD defenseman.
Now, if anyone wants to play a game at home, I want you to count the amount of east to west passes that FDNY is completing versus NYPD.
Turnover, chance, save made, rebound, another stop for Stark as he stops up Kern point blank. Great job at the blue line by James Shea there to take that puck away. O'Donohue and Peretta having a conversation at neutral ice, but doesn't seem like it's that menacing of a conversation. Seems a little bit more cordial.
Probably checking in on dinner plans. It's about 3:30 now. It's midway through the hockey game. But yeah, to your point, Kevin, that was a great exit out of their own zone from FDNY. Set up a pretty good chance there.
Bridgewood skates it out to the weak side. Pushed it to Gumas, who chips it in the rest of the way. Puppa for Frizzalone goes through his skates. Swooping in to get it, Gervasi. Overstepping the puck, putting it on goal. Stark puts it out of play up into the netting.
Now, listen, we've been in technically 3 tied games because you start off at 0-0 if we want to consider that. But, Brady, I do want to ask you, if FDNY, if they're able to find that next goal, do you become concerned for NYPD?
I do a bit, just based on, you know, the history and the frustration that for them that's gone along with it, and the way we've seen FDNY in the past be able to really take control of the game when they take the lead. It might take for the Bravest a multi-goal lead, maybe a 2-goal lead, because you might expect an NYPD push. But I think based on how the game is played, I would not by any sense rule out the finest just yet. But that next goal, we talked about it when it was 1-1, even more crucial now.
Gervasi cycles it. Trying to work a give and go. Couldn't get it back to him. Played up ahead over the stick of Stemke. Zay with a toe drag, but knifed off the twig as he tried to let the shot go. Up for Puppa. He'll wind and put a slap shot wide. Frizzalone pinching, keeping it in. FDNY getting a line change while they got the puck in deep. And now a turnover. Zay picks it off, but couldn't settle the bouncing puck. And now out come the NYPD.
Oh.
Hacked away from Antonides from
Great
Zay.
back check.
Back across. It's Vinny Lopes on the drop pass. Tracy shoots. Blocked by Antzulis. It's Sean Leonard off the bench now for Zay. Rolling up to the point. Over to Lopes for Leonard. Stick in the lane by Stemke. Back up top. Floated through, and Stark will hold it tight to the body. Past the halfway point of this hockey game. 9:38 remaining. 2-2 the score as we head to our TV timeout. So we're going to take a quick pause here. We'll be back in just a moment on the LI Sports Network with the final 9:38 of period number 2.
And this lucky fan is going home with a pair of free boots, courtesy of Ike's. Congratulations. Didn't win today? Well, you still have an opportunity to win a pair. Winners will be drawn on Monday after the game. Click the QR code and apply. Fans here to make a very special presentation on behalf of Hikes. Please welcome Deanna Reeser, who is here to present a $10,000 check to the FDNY and NYPD hockey teams. Accepting the check on behalf of the NYPD hockey team is Tyler Galarski. And the FDNY hockey team will be donating it to the Ray Pfeiffer Foundation. And accepting on their behalf is Chris Howard, Chris Princiata, Rob Serra, and Frank Peel. Thank you, Diana and Heights.
Coming back out of the break. 2-2 the score line between FDNY and NYPD. John Peretta, our most recent goal scorer for the Fire, tying this game back up. Travis Quigley here with Brady Campbell and Kevin Broderick. Want to thank you all so much for being a part of our broadcast today here on the LI Sports Network, and of course for supporting our first responders that aren't just out on the ice, but that sacrifice every single day. Shot from the point from Leonard, skips just wide. Played out front, picked off by McCann. He leads the breakout, gets it back from Bozer. McCann over the blue, a drop pass, missed Gabay's stick, and turning up ice is Elfont. Elfont puts it in. He's driven to the wall by Gabay and now dumped to the ice, and a penalty being called here on the NYPD. Gabay's going to the box. The Fire going on the power play.
Oh, listen, that's why I said Elfont was going to be one of my impact players to start off the day. Because, listen, you wear an A on your chest for a reason. Gets hacked down, draws the penalty, and crucially, Travis, doesn't retaliate, allowing your team to go to the power play. I mean, Brady, you said it earlier, it doesn't feel like an FDNY NYPD game anymore. It feels like a proper NHL game.
And now we're starting to see it, right? Even the power plays in the first got cut off between the 4-on-4 here. Only penalties other than that were the majors on the line brawl. Now we start to enter the later stages of this game. We just crossed the halfway point, but things start to tense up a little bit here. FDNY, their first real power play of the hockey game.
The Bravest were able to hold the puck in momentarily at the beginning of this power play, but it was quickly picked off and dumped down the sheet by Dermody. And now the breakout for Zay. Zay's over the blue line, stops up, out there with Lopes, Tracy, Leonard, and O'Brien. Puck hung up on the side of the net right now, and Stark gets the blocker on it, covers it up. And now Zay coming together out in front.
Gotta be careful. Don't want to go to a 4-on-4, lose a good opportunity, and if you're the Finest, you absolutely cannot go to 5-on-3.
And Amodio having a couple of words. O'Brien steps in. Both sides going to make a line change here. And you see on that replay, Zay was coming across, just came together with Amodio. Again, power play continuing. Peretta and Puppa up top for the Bravest. Kern, Pascali, and Gilhooly. Gumas and O'Donohue PKing. Cullen and Antonic joining them, and it's turned over. Here comes Gumas, race to the net, shot saved by Battaglia, trying to wrap it around, and it's blocked. Diving into the lane was Gilhooly. Puppa plays the body on Gumas, and Gilhooly takes the puck. Kern over the line, 55 left on the man advantage. Puppa off, O'Brien back on. Kern to the point. John O'Brien for Pascali. Return to O'Brien. Fakes the one-timer, slides it to Peretta. Catches the pass on the backhand. Keeps it in deep. It's with Kern.
30 seconds left.
Now to O'Brien. He's the QB here. Manning the middle of the ice. Pascali through the seam, one-timer. Peretta came off the toe. Right back to him, though. Peretta settles through the middle, redirected, swept away. What a play in front by Antonic. Now O'Brien from up top, and a glove save from Stark with 13 seconds left on the FDNY power play.
Kevin may have saved a goal right there, though, guys. You see the replays, this is actually down the other end of the short-handed chances, but it actually pops off a stick in front, and I don't think the goalie Stark quite knew where it was. He was sliding towards the goal, and Antonic just able to sweep it away before any of the Bravest are able to get to it.
It's the Bravest who control again. O'Brien rolls middle, hits Leonard. Right back to him. Backhands it across. It's Zay. Fakes the pass, rolls to the goal line. Out to the slot, one-timer. Leonard hits the side of the net. Out of the box, back to 5-on-5 as Zay rolls the circle. He shoots. Glove stop, Stark. Rebound still there. Another stop by Stark, and we get the stoppage. Leonard looking a mailbox, looked like Bridgewood there. Someone's stick just went flying as Ragone tossed it aside. Leonard's got his helmet off. He's got one glove off. Jawing right now with Ryan Bridgewood.
One glove, it ain't two, so we're not going to get any more punches thrown as we go and pick over the stick.
Well, I'm going to say, I know there's a lot of people at home and there's a lot of people in this building that know Sean Leonard as well as I know Sean Leonard. And he don't back down from nothing. That same goes for his brother Steve, who's not playing in this game today, played last year in the 51st edition. But Sean and Steve, they'll fight anybody. They'll fight each other. They do not care. They're not scared. They're not going to back down. So not surprised to see Leonard ready to go in that situation. Back to the action. There's been a quick period here. 6:50 left. It's kept in Frizz alone. Puts the shot wide. Racing to keep it back deep is Shea. Puts it to the corner. Ragone's going to settle things. Try to vacate out the opposite side. Closed off quickly, though, by Becker. Bridgewood collecting. Moves it for Antonides. Turnover, though. Right back with Antonides. Hits Stemke. Drop pass right back to him. Stemke. Backdoor look. What a stick lift. On the back check, it's the captain, Jim Becker. An amazing play to save a goal right there.
Defensive responsibility from your captain. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Battaglia gloves it down, keeps it moving, hits Frizz alone. Looking long to Zay. Gets a touch on it to wave off the icing. And Zulis for Byrne, trying to go back. Zay takes it. Zay to the backhand. Now the forehand goes through the blue paint. Up to the point. Floated back down the wall by Van Pelt. Kept in, but Brown's shot was blocked. Out for Antonides, overskates it, and it's shot out of play.
Souvenir. That puck got some distance on it, Travis. It's almost like they were playing skee ball for a second.
Trying to find it. Looks like they finally located it. Young kid in the crowd ends up with it. But yeah, what a play down there. I believe Frizzalone may have gotten a stick too on the pass as he went down. And then right back the other way. Matt Zay, I mean, how many chances is he going to get before he really breaks through here in tight? Couple nice stick handles, but a big save once again by Stark.
I think a couple Mets fans in the building right now, Travis.
Not my cup of tea, but Matt Zay, as we saw last year, he was a real focal point for the Bravest. I mean, a goal and assist. And like I said, a real driving force for their offense as it's played back around for Leonard. 5:15 remaining as Leonard out for Gilhooly. Great pass there. Drops it for Pascali. Pascali trying to dip through. Great stop by Cullen.
Just laid the shoulder and let it all do the work.
Will Cullen out of the 52nd precinct. Pascali going to backhand this in. Cullen looking long, right onto the stick of Gumas. And a chance here with numbers. Gumas fakes, toe drag, shot it wide. Oh, so close right there for Kevin Gumas, looking for his first goal in his first career game. Offside going against the Bravest as Elfont got caught stepping on the puck there. So we'll get a draw right in front of the Fire bench. Here's a look at that replay.
What a play that was by Gumas. Sent the defender down early to try and block it. Looked like he was going to wind up a clapper. Fakes it. Little toe drag action and just missed that top corner. Looked like he may have had the goaltender Battaglia beat up high. High glove. Just missed it.
Peretta wraps it in after an FDNY faceoff win. 2-on-2 at the hash marks. Up to O'Brien. O'Brien walks. A snapshot deflected. Goes wide. Back up top with Peretta. And bounces over his stick. A lot of pressure on from Bozer. And Peretta just quickly hacks it back north. It's O'Brien. Gains the red. Flips it on net. Stark trying to punch it to the corner. Didn't get the touch on it he was looking for. So instead we'll cover it up with the glove and take the stoppage. 2-2 the score. 4:10 remaining in period 2. Travis Quigley here with Brady Campbell and Kevin Broderick. Faceoff is going to be to the right of Stark. McCann and Zay line up. Zay trying to go forward. McCann able to pull it back. Zay jumps it, takes possession. Rolling to the point, but McCann all over him. Forces it off his stick. Bounces out to McCann at the red line. Carries into the offensive zone. Shot blocked by Peretta. He'll take a bump on the wall. Bozer protecting. Pulled out of the pile by Zay. It pops to Peretta. Looking to float it back to him. Takes it off the boards and dumps it in. Lopes on the forecheck, gets to it first, finds Tracy, return to him. Now at top, it's O'Brien. John O'Brien on goal again, but Stark makes the save. 3:34 left, period number 2. 2-2 between the bravest and the finest.
And the FDNY getting more traffic. It's kind of been on and off for both sides, trying to get traffic to the goal, but they work it out to the point there. Get someone in front, but Stark able to battle through it. But that's been kind of the name of the game so far. We've seen both teams one goal aside where there was plenty of bodies parked in front of the goaltenders.
Gilhooly, bad angle, shot save made. Rebound, another stop for Stark. Got it with the right toe. In the high slot, Gilhooly shoots. Saved by Stark.
I don't know how that puck got to the front of the net to begin with, Travis. We're going to have to see that on the replay.
These two netminders have played excellent in this one. And what a save in the splits right there, stretching out post to post.
That was Kern bringing it to the front. Played Division III over at SUNY Oswego. Obviously got to give a shout out to all the SUNY schools. There's a lot of SUNY representation, partially because there's so many Division III SUNY schools that offer hockey, but also just because, go SUNYs.
Forward off the draw, it is Kern, who Kev was just talking about. Shot from the point, Frizzalone goes wide. Gilhooly couldn't get the stick on it. Trying to cycle for Kern. Takes a check from O'Donohue. It's cleared out. Puppa for Frizzalone. Into the zone as Kern tags up and jumps over the boards. Gilhooly back in. Comes all the way around to Frizzalone. Pascali stopping up. Trying to find a lane for a pass. Defended by Antonic. Now up top to Frizzalone. Walks to the middle of the ice. Back outside. Gilhooly pushing it around for Becker. Puppa steps into one and goes wide of the target. Was looking for a stick there. Across to Puppa, and it's picked off by Gumas. Gumas with a saucer pass. It's a breakaway. Glove save! Nick Battaglia!
He's had a little bit of razzle-dazzle to him all game, but that was the flashiest save that Battaglia has made. Comes off the rush, and there it is. The little windmill, a little hop step as well after that as he bounces up and down, happy to get his team a needed stop.
He's fired up after that one. It almost felt like time stood still for a second there when Cullen received that pass. Everybody was holding their breath, wondering if that was going to be the go-ahead goal for the PD, but Battaglia with a beautiful glove stop. Ragone keeps it in. Snapshot off the glove of Battaglia. Johnny Olson takes a bump on the wall. The bravest surround the puck, and they come away with it. Sean Leonard evaluates with 2 minutes remaining. holding behind the net, looking over each option. And now goes long, poked deep by James Shea. Line change coming here for the Fire.
Trav, the 50-50 for today's game, almost at $50,000, $49,014.
Someone's walking home with a sweet check. Stretch pass, dropped off for Zay. Receiving it from Romano. Zay shot, creates a rebound. Right there, Stemke. As Pascali was barreling in. Peretta around for Pascali. For Zay now. He shoots, Stark holds it, hugging the post, 1:13 to go.
It's starting to turn into a bit of a goalie duel. Well, it's felt that way throughout, but really, these last few minutes, we saw Stark under siege a bit, a couple rebounds, couple shots in tight. No idea how he's able to keep those out. Of course, the breakaway, Battaglia flashing the leather. It might take a funny bounce at this point to beat any one of these goalies. 1:13 left in the period. Are we going to go into the locker room tied again, gentlemen?
Faceoffs one for the PD. Bridgewood off the wall, looking for Gumas. Gilhooly jumps it, keeps it in. Goes into the slot. Antonic. Redlining in, taking the check there was McCann. Well, pardon me, that was Bohm. Kern off the skate. Chopped ahead for Romano as we enter the final minute. Romano driving wide. Pad stop for Stark. Still Romano into the slot. Broken up by O'Donohue. Cullen kicks it out wide for Gumas. Gumas trying to drop it back. Came off the skate of Romano and out into neutral ice. But a penalty being called here on the FDNY. Gilhooly's going to go to the box, 2 for hooking.
He's irate with that call as well. So it's a late period opportunity for the Finest. They've had 2 different leads, 1-0, 2-1. FDNY have come back quickly to respond, but get a goal right here, Travis. They're in a whole lot of clock to respond.
And if you're the NYPD, you'd love to get a goal right here because, Travis, we talk about it all the time. If this period expires, they'll still be on the power play for about a minute and a half, but it's always tough with the fresh ice. Maybe a little bit of a loss of momentum coming out to start the third on the power play faceoff at center ice. So a crucial final 33.2 of a second for both sides here.
So Gilhooly, the alumnus of the old New York Bobcats, played in the USHL, applied his trade in college at SUNY Potsdam. Another SUNY for you, Kevin.
Go Potsdam.
He's in the box for the Bravest, the Finest, with a power play for the remainder of this period. O'Donohue snaps it across. Antonides back around. 10 seconds to work with. O'Donohue pinned on the wall. Kicked it out for Gumas. Goes to the point. Colin D2D. Kevin Antonic drags. Shots blocked. It's still free. Pops to Cullen. That's blocked. Another try goes wide. Time expires. What a block on Cullen right there, right at the end of the period.
I mean, I've never seen so many crucial blocks in a single game before. But it's just every single time. Look at the replays here. Squirts out left, fired again, popped out again, fired and behind the net. I mean, Travis, 1:27 left on the power play, but to Brady's point, you might not see another opportunity like that because you got to go all the way back to center ice to start off the third.
Just an incredible sequence. This, we say it all the time, this is the Super Bowl for these two hockey teams. This is the biggest game on their calendar every single year. They genuinely play full seasons to prepare just for this one game. And you see how much it means to them. Some of these guys, they're not even wearing visors, just a helmet on their head and diving out head first to block some shots. And it just shows how much this game means to them, how much pride they have in representing the NYPD and the FDNY respectively. And this game has absolutely met the billing through 40 minutes. I mean, Brady, 2-2. Couldn't ask for a better scoreline headed into the third, no?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, any score being tied, I'd say, would be the best scoreline. But 2-2, this game as intense as they've come over the years. And as you, going back to your point with the diving, the block, it's in their blood. I mean, that's what they do for a living. They just get to go out here on the ice and do it for fun, sacrificing the body to get a win in the hockey game. And it's just been awesome for us, everyone here, and once again, so happy to be a part of it. And I know I speak for all of us. We're amped up for period 3. What a finish this is going to be.
So amped up. So before we take a pause, I'm going to ask each of you, what do you think each side has to do to get the win? 20 minutes of hockey left in regulation. We'll start with you, Kevin.
My name is Stephen Callahan. I'm retired bomb squad
to secure victory here today.
Honestly, I'm going to go keep the game close until the final 5 minutes. I think that they have better speed, better skill, the better players. And because of that, when it comes down to crunch time, I think one of those players is more likely to come through in the clutch. I really think that Elfont has been flying up and down the ice. I think Kern on top of that, too, the assistant captains have looked really, really good. And because of that, I'm going to turn to those guys in the final shift, the final 2 shifts, to really just find the dagger.
And Brady, for the NYPD, we've talked about it at length. They have not won a game since 2016 in this battle. We had a tie a few years ago just before COVID, but it's been all FDNY, especially here in the 2020s. What do the NYPD hockey team have to do to get the win here in 2026?
I think it's just about the exact opposite of what Kevin said for the FDNY. I think the starts to the periods for the NYPD have been great. I feel as the period have gone on, it's been a very tight, very even hockey game, but I feel like FDNY gets very comfortable, more and more comfortable as periods wear on. So I think getting a goal early is crucial, and if you do take the lead, obviously those next couple shifts going to be massive for the Bravest to try and lock down their first win in a decade.
2-2 the score after 40 minutes of hockey here at the 52nd annual FDNY versus NYPD Heroes hockey game, live at UBS Arena, only here on the LI Sports Network. Travis Quigley with Brady Campbell and Kevin Broderick. We got the Forward Adventure Series, the race around New York, about to start right now. So we're going to kick it to break, and when we come back, we'll have a couple of features on some charities that both sides are very, very close to. So don't go anywhere. A couple of features coming up during this intermission, and then, of course, the third period is up in about 20 minutes or so. So quick pause. We'll be back in just a moment.
My name is Stephen Callahan. I'm a retired bomb squad detective for the NYPD, and I am currently a senior wealth consultant for Mariner. You wouldn't go respond to a job without your partner or have backup. You wouldn't go into a fire without your gear. You need the proper tools to at least know what all your options are before you make these decisions that are going to last you into retirement. How long do I have to work? Am I putting away the right amount of money? So that planning needs to happen right away. And if you haven't done it, now's the time to start doing it, because retirement comes quickly in these professions.
And now for a special feature presented by Ford.
We're here at Bicycle. We're here to surprise Joe. He doesn't know it, but we're going to give him a Ford F-150. I'm what you are, Don Joe. Show me what it's all about. Now, you didn't start off in the donut business. Tell me what you've been doing in your world over the last number of years.
I joined the Army in 2009 as a combat engineer. From there, I reclassed to an MP, military police. I deployed in 2014, 2015 to Guantanamo Bay. Came home and I've been a drill sergeant ever since.
Why Vice?
Donuts and coffee are my vice, so I decided to go with Vice Donuts and Coffee.
Cheers to you. Okay, so what do I owe you for these?
3182.
I'm going to give you a complimentary gift.
No way. Thank you so much. Thank you. On your truck. Really good. Yeah. How many things is that?
So, Joe, is this a good deal for you?
It's a good deal, yeah. I feel so. And this is insane. I'm still blown away. I still can't believe it.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening,
and Long Island Bulls player, remembered for his leadership, kindness, and team-first spirit on and off the ice. So join us for two exciting matchups featuring FDNY, Nassau County Police, Toronto Fire, and the Long Beach Guardians. Enjoy a full day of family fun with youth clinics, chuck-a-puck, bubble ball races, and raffles and much more. So come celebrate Garen's legacy and support a great cause April 11th at Long Beach Ice Arena. Attention active members, this year's King of the Ice Charity Hockey Tournament will start on April 13th at the Aviator Sports Complex in Brooklyn. Remember, that's April 13th. Visit FDNYKingoftheice.com for more information, including the schedule release. And a special thank you to Ray O'Hara, who has helped raise over $7,000 in a month for the Answer the Call Foundation. Thank you, Ray, for your continued support.
She fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
He always did what's better for other people instead of himself. I would definitely consider my dad.
We're here in the second intermission. Travis Quigley with Chris Hagan, captain of Ladder 120, and he runs the G2H Foundation for his son, Garen. We have a great event coming up in a couple of weeks down in Long Beach on April 11th. So, Chris, if you don't mind just quickly speaking on Garen and the event that we have down in Long Beach on the 11th.
Thank you, Travis, and thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it, although I have a face for radio today because of a bicycle mishap, but I appreciate you having me. Following today's festivities, we'll have the 4th annual Garen Hagan Memorial Hockey Day in Long Beach on Saturday, April 11th in the Long Beach Ice Arena. Like in previous years, we've been the benefactors of so much support from the regional hockey community, to include the FDNY. It's part of their fundraiser series. And this year, Game 1 will be 2:30 p.m., which will, the FDNY will be playing Nassau County Police Department. And then at 5 p.m., the Toronto Fire Services will be down in town to play the Long Beach Guardians. And we have a lot of activities for the whole family, as we have in the past. To include, we're expanding the free clinics in the morning. We'll have a mite clinic from 10:30 to 11 and from 11:30 to 12 to squirt. So we'll be able to get more kids on the ice this year, and that's supported by Farmingdale State College players who help coach the Long Beach Lightning organization that helps organize that for us, and even some FDNY alumni players come out to have the kids having some fun. So we're very, very privileged to have all that kinds of support. Throughout the day, we'll again have our famous bubble ball races that we introduced last year. We'll have the T-shirt cannon firing some good stuff out to the families. We'll have face painting for the kids, the chuck-a-puck contest in Game 2, and and a very, very spirited 50-50 raffle, and a ton of different raffle prizes. And we'll probably have some signed professional jerseys as we always have, and stuff for the moms too. So the folks that put the raffles together do a great job.
And it's, like you said, a jam-packed day. We start in the morning. We get the kids out there for the clinic. And you mentioned it. We've got the Nassau County PD, the FDNY who's playing in this game. Even got the Toronto Fire Department coming down to play Garen's Guardians. Just talk about what it means to have that local support from other organizations in the hockey community and also from other charities and foundations.
Yeah, well, it was extraordinarily humbling from the moment we lost Garen in January 2023. We had an outpouring, my family had an outpouring of support from the regional hockey community, the FDNY community, and obviously the Long Beach community, which all mean so much to us. And in quick fashion, we formed the G2H Foundation in Garen's memory. And we have been the benefactors of so much support from other local charities and organizations that helped us get off the ground. And we would have never been able to do what we've been able to do in 3 years. And I'm proud to say that in 3 years' time, we have been able to give out over $250,000 back into local communities, to local charities, sports teams, scholarship funds, first responder-related charities. And, we're very, very proud of that. And that does not go unseen by people that we've worked with, and we couldn't have done it without so much support. And we look forward to supporting some other, other organizations as well. Today, we honored one of our fallen firefighter, Patrick Brady, from Ladder 120. I'm privileged to be currently the captain of Ladder 120, and we look forward to supporting the Patrick Brady Foundation as they're getting their charity underway, and we look forward to the great things that they're going to do in the Rockaway and other communities moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a great opportunity over the last couple of years to be a part of the G2H Day, to see everything that the G2H Foundation has done, and of course, like you said, that overwhelming support from the hockey community, from the FDNY, of course, from all the Guardians, and I'm sure that the Patrick Brady Foundation is going to get that exact same support.
Yep, I don't doubt it, and the thing that is most important for us for the Garen Hagen Memorial Hockey Day, that it's like today, it's a great family experience. We have something for all ages, from little kids through adults, and that really makes us happy. And that's the goal, to have another great family day. And in Garen's backyard. He grew up in that arena. He played in that arena. He worked in that arena. It was his second home. And that Guardians team that Joe Brand put together following Garen's passing is really, really special, because you have guys on that team that played with my son, the guys who have coached my son, and they hold that near and dear to their heart. And it's that hockey family. We talked about that throughout all of the time playing travel hockey and school hockey, but when we lost Garen, a hockey family really took on a whole other meaning, and it was quite humbling for my family, and we just are so appreciative of all the support from all the different communities, Long Beach, the regional hockey community, the FDNY community, and all the other charities that have helped us along the way. And there's way too many to mention, and I would be remiss if I left them out, but you know who they are, and they know who they are, and you'll see them supporting us on April 11th, and we're so fortunate to have them.
Absolutely, and I think it just goes to show just how much this game really brings us all together and really makes us one tight-knit community and family. Chris, before I let you go, FDNY guy, I'm sure you're pulling for the FDNY win. 2-2 going into the third. What's your prediction?
Overtime goal, FDNY.
Overtime goal for the FDNY. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
See you in a few weeks. Appreciate it.
See you soon.
Thank you.
We're back for the third in just a moment here on the LI Sports Network. 2-2 the score. Final 20 coming up next.
My name is Stephen Callahan. I'm a retired bomb squad detective for the NYPD, and I am currently a senior wealth consultant for Mariner. What I would say to someone that's putting off these retirement decisions, you're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage. Sure, you can't go back in time and reverse any of these decisions or start earlier, but you could start now. You don't wait another week, a month, or year to make these decisions. Talk to an advisor, get help now.
Third period is a go here on the LI Sports Network. Travis Quigley here with Brady Campbell, and now joining us for the third period, Brady, Ryan Brannigan. He spent a good portion of this game down between the benches, told us off air that there was a lot of chirping back and forth, a lot of things that he can't say into the microphone right now, but Ryan, happy to have you up here with us for the third.
Thank you, Travis. Happy to be back in the booth where I'm much more comfortable, as good as the view was there down on us.
So FDNY will win the ensuing face-off. It's sent down. NYPD beginning on a power play here. 1:15 remaining as Cullen will swing it back for Gumas. Gumas in over the blue line. Stops up, getting himself set, rolling through the middle of the ice. Switches spots with Cullen and dishes to him. Right back. Now Cullen again. Center point. Off on the right flank, Antonic to the goal line. Antonides settles it down. 45 left on the man advantage. It's Cullen. Down for Gumas. O'Donohue trying to pop. Back for Cullen. He shoots. Blocked off. O'Donohue had the lane. Was looking to pass to Gumas, though. Ends up in the corner. Cullen rolls and shoots. Deflected down. They score! It's John Antonides on the power play. 3-2 NYPD.
Well, that was one of the keys to the third we talked about coming in. Getting the early one, especially here on the power play. Trying to ensure a win for NYPD. And that's exactly what they need. Once again, traffic in front. Another goal. We've seen a few from both sides tonight. That one, Battaglia gets a piece. May have been deflected. And just skithers through his pads over the line.
O'Donohue got that initial deflection up in the high slot, and then Antonides setting the screen, gets a good touch. Gets it over the line. 58 seconds into the period. The power play goal for the NYPD, and they're back in front. The bravest, once again, looking for that tying marker. So one back to Ragone. He'll backhand it deep. Battaglia out, stops it, plays it to O'Brien. O'Brien for Peretta up the sheet. Jumps over the stick of Vinny Lopes. Thrown in by Bridgewood, who's seen increasingly more ice time as this game has progressed, Brady. I've seen a lot more 52 in gray. Zay driving wide on Bridgewood, forced behind the net. It's Zay. Stops up, looking to the goal line, knocked off the stick. Stemke in there battling and flipped out by Ragone. O'Brien chasing after it as the icing was waved. He wants to go quick here. Snaps it to Zay at the red line. Couldn't chip it past Olsen, though. Olsen looking for Bozer in the middle. Bozer gets the pass. He's in. Stick lifted, goes wide. Battaglia paddles it off to the corner. 2 minutes gone by here in period number 3. The NYPD looking for their first victory in 10 years. From the point, kicked away, and underneath the glove of Battaglia.
You said it earlier, Travis and Brady, that the FDNY, the bravest, they have responded to these goals scored by NYPD in short order. So a great shift there from the police and to try to prevent that reality from happening a third time.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a much better start to the third period if you're NYPD.
Right of Battaglia for the faceoff, won by Gervasi. Puck moved ahead, and Becker slides it to Shea. Shea down low, Stark to the corner. Puppa on the keep-in, finds Frizzalone wide open. That shot through, and right off the NYPD logo, center of the jersey for Tyler Stark.
So now we see a good shift by NYPD after their goal. Usually it's been FDNY immediately coming back, but now they get the puck deep. Shot from the outside, no trouble there for Stark. But an offensive zone faceoff, and now we're in it. 3-2 NYPD. You got to win these faceoffs here, take advantage if you're FDNY. Unfortunately for them there, it's split right between the defense.
Yeah, won that bit too clean as Puppa one-hands it out. Shea puts it in. Bravis trying to get a change. Antonelli goes across for Sean Hart. Hart with the high flip. Hart grew up playing for the Long Island Edge. Went over to Stony Brook. Also a very prolific roller hockey player, Sean Hart. As the Bravis will dump it in, complete that line change. Antonelli back for Hart. And moves it to Amodio. Gains the red. Little DNC, dump and chase as Dermody's on it. Takes a check. Pascali takes the puck. He's driven into the net. Started the breakout, though, is Leonard. Receives the east-west pass on the backhand to the slot for Kern. And O'Donohue forces it to the corner. O'Donohue carrying. Trying to dump it deep. Pascali got in the lane. Fires it across the sheet. Antonic scoops it, no pressure on. Antonic on the outside, rings the post. What a look right there for the PD defenseman. Almost made it a 2-goal advantage. That's turned over. Bozer, or pardon me, that's Gumas, who overskates that puck, has to tag up. O'Brien starting the breakout, gets it right back. John O'Brien, ladder company 132. Slings it to Leonard. Leonard north. Redirected in by Kelly. Bridgewood there. D-to-D pass. Santino Ragone. He got the scoring started in the first period. O'Brien puts it over the glass, out of play. Another souvenir for a lucky fan down in the front row.
Ragone on a bit of a heater as he scored in the game, the charity game, in which featured the NYPD and Collins team, Team Colin Joy's project, took place at the rinks a week ago today. He scored in that one, scores again here tonight.
Left of Battaglia. One back. Stemke's shot off a stick, out of play.
See another shot block there. Good job getting right out to Stemke as he lets that one go. And what's it going to take now? It's been a pretty back and forth opening 4.5 minutes to this period. If you're FDNY, you're going to have to start to turn this one, flip this ice a little bit, try and catch a break.
Fire unable to get it out. Ragone puts it back on net, steered away by Battaglia. Peretta looking to clear again. NYPD doing a nice job holding the blue line. O'Brien trying to break out. Stick lifted. Boom with a quick shot. And Battaglia with the quicker reflexes.
That one was dangerous right there, Ryan. Turnover in really the worst possible spot if you're the fire department. And Battaglia, so sound and tight, doesn't quite know if he has that one, but once again makes a big save for his team.
Yeah, turnover absolutely caught the FDNY defender off guard, wasn't expecting it, and that's the theme of the night. Not expecting this surge, this push. A lot of fight for NYPD as they're looking to get off the schneid, back in the win column in 10 years.
Papa to Frizzalone, out through the middle for Zay. Zay gonna carry, looking long, didn't find a home with the pass, icing called. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in the third period. 3-2 lead for the NYPD. John Antonides on the power play. The Bravest looking for a response for the third time tonight. It'll be Zay and O'Donohue following the icing for the faceoff. PD with a shot goes wide. Guma's back on goal, missed the net. Antonides was hunting for his second. Spun around the wall, Ragone pinching hard. Tracy trying to plug the boards, kept in. Gumas out for Antonides, diving block by Zay.
Might have caught a stick up high.
Frizzalone carrying, leading the rush. Fans on the pass initially, now trying to drop it back. Split Papa and Lopes. Now Gumas for Antonides, forehand, backhand, poke check from Battaglia, diving out. What a play.
What a save by Nick Battaglia, taking no risks there with the potential shot or deke, getting out there with the stick to knock it away.
And then you had the rebound, knocked it out of midair.
Gumas for O'Donohue. Leonard defending, back down the wall, kept in by Gumas. Leonard on a stick lift, wins it back. Brennan on the forecheck. Gets a touch on Leonard's stick, puck pops out for Romano, who dumps it in, right back to him at the red line. Poked into the zone, Gervasi, but offside. Another look at this forehand, backhand look for Antonides, and then Gumas, like Ryan mentioned, batted it out of the air, but off target with the attempt.
What a game it's been between the two goalies. I mean, as expected, but it's 3-2 right now. It could probably be about 6-5. Some unbelievable saves from both netminders.
It's the FDNY who will win and control the puck. Right in the lane, though, taking it away was Bozer. Bozer, high flip, goes to the corner. First back for it, Jim Brown. Peretta. It's Sean Hart, takes it off the boards, hits McCann. McCann with a wrist shot over the head of Battaglia, the former Farmingdale State captain. Bozer trying to go through his legs for McCann, blocked off by Leonard. Leonard slides it to Romano. Romano out of the zone and one-handed deep by Jim Becker. Hart back for it, quick reversal. Antonelli unable to get it out as Gilhooly off the bench. Buzzing into the corner, keeping it deep. Pops around for Kern. Kern settles at the hash marks. Keeps it low, Pascali. Up top under the stick of Peretta, and O'Brien's back to collect it. McCann hustles off to get a change, as does Hart. Now it's snapped to Kern. Kern slows it, looking back door. Trying to get the stick on it was Pascali. Now Peretta to the net, and Stark keeps it tight, no rebound. 12:28 remaining in regulation.
Derek Kern has been everywhere tonight offensively. Had a great game last year. Has a goal in this one, the first of the two for FDNY, and he's been buzzing near the net since. Creating an opportunity there, then driving towards the net. Pays the price to try and get a stick on it. Not an easy shot there to stop, I should say, for Stark.
The trick there also, Brady, no rebound surrendered by the police netminder.
FDNY keep it in, Frizzalone on the pinch. There to help it out, Kelly. Elfont for Puppa. Puppa to Frizzalone. Has a lane. Slap shot. Off target. Johnny Olson scoops. Olson slides it to the middle of the ice. Gloves it back down. Stick save, Battaglia.
Antonek on the back door nearly had it.
Stemke looking to spin away from Puppa. Intercepted Frizzalone. Puts it to the wall for Kelly. Kelly pokes it out. Frizzalone trying to join the rush. Antonides slowing them both down. Dumped in by Chris Stemke. Wholesale change here for the NYPD. Sean Leonard with plenty of time.
Top unit back out for the police, as you mentioned, the O'Donohue line.
Leonard leading the rush. Puts the pass onto the tape of Lopes. Lopes across off the backhand of Tracy, and Gumas turns north. 3-on-3 into the zone. Gumas cutting to the middle with a chance. Denied. Nick Battaglia.
How about this look right here? And we've been talking about the goalies all day. The next goal, the most crucial one. NYPD has had so many opportunities in the third to go up by 2. There you see Battaglia just gets a piece of that one with what looked like potentially a skate. And then right here, Gumas. A couple of quick dekes in tight to get himself free, and Battaglia bails his team out.
Brady, I think the NYPD might have listened to you before we went to break in the second period, and you said they got to come out hard, they got to come out flying, whereas Kevin was more saying the FDNY maybe just let the game continue to play on and hunt for that late one. You've been spot on. The PD have come out flying. They've got the lead, and we're approaching the halfway point of this third period. Backs starting to get pushed against the wall if you're the bravest. 2-on-2, it's poked free. Antonides couldn't come up with it. O'Brien moves it to Peretta and gets it back. John O'Brien settles the puck, takes it back behind his own net, trying to find that outlet. Instead, we'll return it to Peretta, who goes through the middle. Now on the outside, Lopes. He shoots short side, hits the glass. Peretta able to glove it down, keeps it in. Great job there. Ragone, nice move. Through the middle off the skate of Bozer. And back north. Wrist shot sticked away by Stark as Shea let it fly. Bozer's knocked to the ice, and a delayed penalty coming up here on the FDNY.
Back official caught it.
Stark started to hustle to the bench. It's Romano who's going to the box. And another NYPD power play coming up. They've already got one power play marker here in this third period. Can they find another and extend this lead to 2? We're past the 10-minute point, so we're at our TV timeout. We're going to take a quick pause. 9:54 remaining in regulation. NYPD 3, FDNY 2. The battle for New York City is coming down to the wire, and the police department are on the power play when we return.
All right, who will be today's Heights Lucky Seat winner? Let's find out. And this lucky fan is going home with a pair of boots courtesy of Heights. Congratulations. It's the Fan Cam, presented by UBS.
Coming back out of the TV timeout, 3-2 lead for the PD over the fire department. Travis Quigley here with Ryan Brannigan and Brady Campbell. Can't forget Kevin Broderick, who was with us through the first 2 periods. Power play for the NYPD as the bravest able to send it out. The finest will break out. Leading this rush, Cullen, being hounded right now by Becker. Becker slows him up just enough, and it's going to come all the way back for Gumas.
This could be such a huge turning point in this game. So much momentum gained from a kill here from FDNY, and for NYPD, a goal. Going up 2, massive.
Gumas gets it back from Cullen. Now for Antonic. Into the zone, looking to set things up. Banks it off the wall behind the net. Gumas to the point for Cullen. Cullen walking back to the left flank. Gumas takes a hack from Gilhooly. Keeps it in the zone, though. Off the top of the glass, Antonic settling for Gumas. Sliding, O'Brien trying to clear. It stays in. O'Donohue for Gumas out of the corner. 50 left on the power play. Popping O'Donohue. One-timer went wide. Battaglia with the save on the rebound. Antonides was trying to stuff it. Cullen back for Antonides. Cullen again, off for Gumas. Antonic going to post up in front. Cullen with the shot. Battaglia makes the save. No rebound given up there. A lot of traffic in front.
We saw the early power plays for both sides, especially NYPD, not getting a whole lot done, but they got that power play goal on a power play that was divided between 2 periods. And here they're starting to move the puck around and just missing that shot there, O'Donohue, and he couldn't believe it. That one did not miss by much. I don't think Battaglia picked it up through all the traffic. Close call there for FDNY.
Hart unable to keep that puck in. Offside, though. FDNY as Zay's pass came in behind Pascali. 22 seconds remaining on the penalty to Romano. Bravest looking to get out of this. Generate a little bit more offense, as it's been mostly PD generating the offense and controlling the puck possession here in this 3rd period, Ryan.
I absolutely have, and that's what you need to do to keep a lead when you got one, and it's how they got the lead in the first place. Obviously, a chance to build momentum here for the Bravest, but if you keep that puck in the offensive zone, that's a recipe to win this game for the NYPD.
Papa to Frizzalone. Papa back to help Frizzalone. Missed him with the pass, though. Ragone to the corner, gets it back. Walks to the flank. It's Hart. Hart delays. Now out front. Cleared out of the paint. And Romano out of the box gets the pass. He's on a breakaway. Back checking Ragone. Romano one hand. He's taken down. Still in front. Knocked down Pascali. It's a penalty shot. We're going to center ice. Romano's going to go one-on-one with Stark. 7:40 left in the 3rd.
Are you not entertained? But they're going to make sure Stark is okay first, Travis.
What a save, sweeping it off the goal line there, setting up that breakaway. Great hustle on the back check by Ragone. That's one that you'll consider a necessary penalty. And then how about the puck still alive? The effort from Stark to at least give himself a chance to save it before the whistle was blown dead. But this is huge right here, guys.
The FDNY crowd just exploded upon the announcement from the public interest announcer, Alex Anthony, that there is going to be a penalty shot. Stark looks like he's good to go, shaking off the cobwebs maybe a little bit here. Puts the helmet back on his head.
I mean, FDNY nearly tied that game in the follow-up sequence after the penalty was drawn. You had Romano in the back of the net as the puck was heading his way. Madness. And now a chance at redemption. Here we go.
Romano is going to go one-on-one with Stark. A chance to tie the game. Whistle goes. Here comes Romano. Picks up the puck, comes right down center ice, makes a move to the backhand. Stark says no.
The North will remember that save. Remember that save, ladies and gentlemen.
Beat me to it, Ryan. Beat me to it. Romano, I think he just gets in a little too close there. Not a bad move, but as you said, Stark all over him. And the North does indeed remember.
It stays 3-2 for the NYPD. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in regulation. It's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Bravest. Another battle between Zay and O'Donohue set to commence. And you got to wonder, as time continues to tick on, do the FDNY start to feel the pressure more as that's one right to the net? And Stark forced to take a quick whistle.
Yeah, the recipe has been good to this point, as I've mentioned, of staying out of the zone, out of the defensive zone. But you cannot go into that shell yet. Way too much time left, 7:37.
Zay and O'Donohue once again left of Stark. One back, opening up, redirected shot from Gilhooly, never made it to the net. Now it does, he's stuffing at it, it's still free. Poked to the corner by Cullen, and Gumas backhands off the window and out. Icing called as the puck just had enough legs to make it over the goal line.
As you said, Travis and Ryan, we'll see. Does NYPD start to feel the pressure here? If you're them, you gotta dig in. You can't turtle here. I've seen way too many teams turtle on this ice specifically in the third period. NYPD cannot fall into that trap.
It's the PD who come away with it. Antonic for Gumas, and we got to pause. Our clock.
72 minutes left in the game, guys.
Well, that's what it said in the arena.
They added.
Yes, not our clock. The arena clock was on the Jumbotron, said 72 minutes. So, quick fix. No problems. We're back to the action in a moment.
Meanwhile, during the icing, I thought I saw an extra second or two run off. So maybe they were trying to adjust that. And we would have been here all night. But only 7:23 left here, which is unfortunate for the FDNY. I'm sure they would have been okay, maybe with a couple of intermissions, but they would have loved playing 72 more minutes.
7:23 remaining.
They are going to benefit here with the offensive zone faceoff, which it was a clear breakout for NYPD. And now the faceoff's coming right back in the defensive end.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a conversation here to see where this faceoff actually is going to go. As
O'Donohue's pointing right at center ice. I agree with him.
We've had a crowd favorite here today. That Long Island Royals youth team is...
Oh, my goodness.
Those kids, they're going to sleep well tonight.
Beloved by the sold-out crowd here at UBS Arena. Faceoffs one back to O'Brien. O'Brien across. One-time try. Stark stands tall, makes another stop.
Okay, so it's about 5 seconds that ran off after the icing because I believe the clock was stopped at 7:17. So now 7:18 to go. And once again, NYPD just trying to withstand. We're starting to see the beginning of the push for the FDNY to get this thing knotted up.
Another face-off win for the Bravest, thrown on net. Antonic just takes that away easily. Dishes north for Cullen, who redirects it into the zone. So O'Brien back. Awaits a couple swingers, and now will lead the rush. PD set up in their 1-2-2. Offside going to be called as Kern into the zone before the puck.
So some of the FDNY fans in disagreement, but we're placed right here at the blue line. And a good box out at the line, if you will, by Antonic and the NYPD team to force that play offside. But it's been a lot of FDNY cycling in the zone here, and NYPD either icing it or not quite icing it, but getting it clear. And thankfully for them, it's the third, so there's no long change, but they're having trouble sneaking guys off here with all the pressure.
Draws one to Ragone, and does a little reverse hit on Gilhooly there. Into the zone, Bozer. Trying to put it past O'Brien. Spins away from Brennan, and Pascali's able to get the puck for Zay. Zay just floats it on goal. Stark will hold it in the glove. 6:36 remaining. Third period of play, 3-2 for the NYPD. The power play goal from John Antonides, the difference maker right now. Can the PD hold on, collect their first victory in the 2020s, their first win since 2016, or will the FDNY battle back and put another one up in the win column? Ragone straight up the wall, gets it out. Bohm does a nice job tagging back up. And now Bohm with possession, high slot. Blocker save for Battaglia. Gilhooly moves it to Zay. Nice job with the stick, taking away Olsen's. It's Zay driving wide. Trying to find a lane. Byrne drives him to the boards. Puck scoop by Stemke. Stemke, quick wrister. And Battaglia holds it. 6:03 remaining.
Aiden Bohm, standout in the Sheriffs versus the Suffolk County Police Department game I had the pleasure of calling up at Clark Gillies Arena in Dix Hills. It was quite the pickup here for the NYPD.
And this clock's got to be moving fast for FDNY, but if you're NYPD, obviously the opposite, but considering the decade-long drought, I mean, this thing's got to be moving like molasses for these guys, especially with this push from FDNY over the last few minutes with 6:03 left.
For Antzulis at the point. No lane for a shot, so just puts it to the corner. Papa spins it around. It's Vinny Lopes. Trying to get back to the outside. Swept away by Byrne. Papa puts it back north, though. Lopes on the forecheck. Antzulis right to the red for O'Donohue. Touch pass to Gumas. Gumas across. Still engaged in battle there with Derek Kern. They keep giving each other a couple of whacks. As Frizzalone's trying to clear, it goes right back to the netminder Battaglia, who takes the whistle. And Gumas and Kern still going at it here.
Yeah, Travis.
Kern with the visor, Gumas with the cage on, and Kern got a nice glove on that cage, gave it a quick rip.
For my time between the benches, that has been brewing for quite some time. Gumas has been on the receiving end of a lot of chirping, notably for wearing the cage. So seeing the glove right to the cage, I can only imagine what they're talking about. And then Gumas obviously vocal on his way back to the bench.
And Derek Kern has been not only involved offensively, but he's been involved in a lot of these scrums for FDNY. Doesn't seem to be necessarily one of the bigger guys on the roster, but he doesn't back down from anybody.
5:24 remaining in the third period. Again, not sure we're going to see any more fisticuffs in this one. Maybe if tension starts to get a little bit higher towards the end again, but looked like they got a lot of that emotion out through the first 10 minutes of the game. A lot of big body checks thrown. We saw the line brawl, but things have calmed considerably since that point, as it's taken away by Cullen. Back off the wall, Antonic looking for McCann. Tough read on the bounce off the yellow. Looking for a touch pass middle to Gervasi. Was Shea, never got to him, and McCann will scoop it at the red line. It's Johnny McCann driving in wide. Stopped up by Battaglia. He's looking for his first career goal in the big game. It's Riley Brennan to the point. Antonic across. One-time blast. That's off target for Cullen. Antonic just going to put it cross corner. McCann gets there. Defended by Brown. Taken away by Gervasi. Gervasi high flip. Becker trying to put it in deep. He does. FDNY able to get a line change here as Cullen takes it. Starts to break from behind his own net. Pascali picks it up outside the zone. Right back in, but knocked off the twig. Antonic's pass broken up by Pascali. Recovers, though, and gets it out wide. Bohm on the dump in. Settled by O'Brien. Knocked down by Stemke. Back with Bohm. Bohm cuts out wide. He shoots. Blocker stop for Battaglia again. Punched that one off to the corner. Bohm from behind the net. Out to the high slot. Through Stemke's legs. But here's Ragone. Off the stick of Stemke. and lands on the tape of John O'Brien. For Pascali now, stick lift on the back check. Great job from John Olson. O'Brien hits Gilhooly. Broken up by Olson. Olson pushing wide on O'Brien. Pass across. Chance. Glove save. Battaglia. What a beauty.
What a sequence in general. How about that pass from Olson from his backside to set that up? And then for the second time today, Battaglia, no sir, keeps his team in it.
Great look for John Antonides there. Battaglia top of the crease with the glove hand. An absolute beautiful stop right there. Keeping the bravest in the fight.
Yeah, no flash warning either given out by Battaglia for that save. I mean, should have let us know the leather's about to be real flashy there.
O'Donohue trying to go forward on Kern, who's able to pull it to Frizzalone. Back across to Frizzalone from Tracy, over the blue line, hooks it over. Tracy overskates the puck. Puppa leaping, but well over his head. Showed off some good hops there, though, as Kern, backing him up, takes possession. 3 minutes remaining.
You're not, I was going to say, it's like 2 feet off the ice there, Travis.
Showing off the bunnies. He is from the Bronx, so back with Kern.
Got to keep an eye on Battaglia here, guys, as we're just got under 3 minutes to go in the next minute or so.
Kern puts it cross corner. In on the forecheck, it's Tracy and Lopes trying to take possession. Up to the point, it's Leonard. Leonard walks to the middle of the ice. He'll drag. Taken down. Penalty coming up here. The finest are going to the box. The bravest going on the power play. 2:33 to go. And it's a golden opportunity for the FDNY to tie this game up.
O'Donohue, you can't believe it. I've never seen so much obvious body language in my life. The hands over the head, the shrug, he's still hunched over. He can tell that was not a play. That was a really, really potentially costly error for the NYPD.
So Gumas in the box, 2 for tripping. Manager, assistant coach Charlie Ventacinque, he is extremely unhappy. He's fired up on that bench right now. We got a timeout for the FDNY. They want to get the board out, draw something up here. We're going to see who they send out there. I would presume you're going to see likely O'Brien and Peretta up top. You know Matt Zay is going to be on the ice. Maybe Vinny Lopes, maybe Joe Gilhooly, maybe we'll see Brendan Tracy. You got a couple guys, couple options that you can go to here. Billy Pascali. So, Ryan, what's the 5-man unit you're sending out there, and who's your 6th man for when Battaglia comes to the bench?
So, I was actually going to say that. You have free reign to shoot at the empty net free of cost. Now, yes, it's 6-on-4 as opposed to 6-on-5, right? Because you're shorthanded. But you can ice the puck, you run into trouble that way. Now, to get back to what you said, the 6th man, 5 on the ice. To be honest, you brought up some great names. I like everyone you brought up, to be honest. The Stony Brook collection I would go with. The 2015 ACHA championship run coalition of players on the Fire.
So we got Zay, Pascali, Gilhooly, Kern, and O'Brien. And it's the PD right away clearing the zone. Battaglia still in his crease. O'Brien hustles back, 2:25 to go in regulation.
I think maybe you bring out a potential bomber like Glenn Puppa, too, when Battaglia comes off.
O'Donohue, Antonides up front killing. Cullen steps up, playing the body. And now another big hit thrown on Pascali. Puck's cleared out. Gilhooly and Antonides collided at the blue line inadvertently.
The one
2 minutes to
silver
go.
lining for NYPD is that you can't ice the puck here until, of course, the penalty expires.
Zay gets outside. Keeps it deep for Kern. Battaglia still in the crease. Pascali with it. Up top for O'Brien. O'Brien holds. Hits Pascali again. Goes through the seam for Zay. Quick shot, save Stark. No rebound. 1:41 remaining. 1:09 left on the power play. And Battaglia slowly starting to inch out, but hasn't gotten the sign just yet.
And I think that's the right move. I think you got to keep him in there at least until there's only a few seconds left on the power play. But
Here
they're
he
going
goes
to say,
now.
you know what? We're going to win this face-off, get possession. It's not going to matter.
Vinny Lopes on the ice as the extra skater. The PD win the draw, and it's cleared out by Will Cullen. 1 minute to go on the penalty to Gumas. It's John O'Brien. Starts the breakout, slides it to Zay. Zay going to carry up the boards, enters the offensive zone. 6-on-4 attack, and it's cleared out again by Cullen. PD fans starting to rise to their feet. $1:10 remaining. Pass to Lopes, returns it to O'Brien. O'Brien for Gilhooly into the zone. Cullen takes possession, turns off the wall and out. O'Brien has Olsen behind him. He takes it away, shoots it on that backhand, misses as we enter the final minute. Pressure on now for the FDNY. Pascali for Gilhooly. Chips it past Cullen. Gilhooly across, blocked down by Antonik. Kept in the zone, it's Matt Zay. Zay drops it off to the bumper, one-timer wide. Zay back in front, blocked Antonik. Clearing attempt, not out for O'Donohue. 30 seconds left, we're back to 5-on-5. Gilhooly on the side of the net, trying to swing it to Lopes. O'Donohue there, he clears all the way down. Gumas wins the race. O'Brien end of his shift. Gumas couldn't wrap it home.
Oh no!
Dumped to the ice, 15 left. Kern to Zay. Reverse hit on Antonides. Off the bench, it's Leonard with 10. Sean Leonard leads the rush into the zone. Swivels the hips. Out behind with 3. Out front, quick shot. Save made. Rebound, another stop. The NYPD do it. For the first time since 2016, the PD get the win. And here we go. Leonard going at it with Stark right now. We got a couple guys wrapped up. Antonik's in the mix. Leonard's throwing some punches. Stark's trying to celebrate.
Oh!
And here we go. Another fight brewing.
Maybe lost in all this is that.
Now dropping the
Oh,
gloves,
my.
it's Jeff Kuhl. And Kuhl's going at it now with Bridgewood. Bridgewood's got him in a headlock. Now someone jumps in, dives on top of Bridgewood. And here we go now, backup goalie Michio Shrimp's in the mix. He's got his hands around him, Battaglia's in. We've seen what Battaglia can do with his right hand. You don't want that.
Shrimp is still, I've never seen that.
Still pushing and shoving here. Both sides trying to separate. The officials doing anything to break this up right now.
They're going to have to call for backup.
But the NYPD. Now it's Gumas. He's in the mix, and Gumas gets ripped to the ground. Here we go again. The fans up against the glass loving this right now.
Yeah, just when you think it's over.
Officials genuinely trying to do anything right now to break this up as it just continues on. Now the FDNY skating away. But it's the NYPD. And you hear the crowd now. And now, oh my goodness, Charlie Ventusinque ready to take the suit jacket off and square up with Leonard. Assistant captain Lydell Harrigan in there right now, just trying to break it up. The NYPD off in the corner, celebrating their first win since 2016, as you see on your screen now. This one means a lot to them. They went through a long, grueling season. They played a lot tougher competition than they're used to in order to prepare for this one today. And Ryan, I'd say that preparation paid off for New York City's finest.
It had to have. It certainly did. They showed up in all 3 periods, and at the very least, we're hanging right there with the FDNY. But better yet, Travis, they never trailed. They never trailed this entire game. Now, in speaking before the game, I had a great conversation there with Kevin Antonic, and he told me before we got on the mics, I said, this has got to be the year then, right? He's like, oh, this is the year. This is absolutely the year. He knew exactly what I was talking about. This 10-year cloud looming over the head of the finest is over.
And especially for Kevin Antonic, he also mentioned to you this is his 10th game.
Yes.
This means this is his first win.
Yeah.
In the big one, in the NYPD uniform against the FDNY. So you see, it means a lot.
Oh, man.
To the NYC's finest out there celebrating this victory. Obviously, we saw a ton of emotion at the beginning of the game. A lot of emotion there at the end of the game, Brady. Great late push, though, from the FDNY. And they were so close a couple of times in that final 2 minutes to tying this game up.
Well, that's why you need every 10th of a second. How about that sequence at the end? A couple massive saves from Stark. FDNY, though, they showed their pedigree of why it's taken a decade to beat them for the NYPD as they push them to their limit as expected. In the end, though, I've never heard of the brother named Tyler Stark, but I think we have a new king in the north and a new king of the NYPD hockey team, able to just completely lock down that 3rd period. And, I mean, I might have coaching in my future. How about that 3rd period from the NYPD? That's just the way
I'm telling you, I think that they must have played your advice in the locker room heading into the break for second intermission, because you were spot on. You said they had to put the foot on the gas. They had to chase the goal. They had to hunt for it. Don't sit back and let the game come to you, and that's exactly what they did in that 3rd period. They got the early one on the power play, just barely 50 seconds into this 3rd period. John Antonides racking up the GWG, following up the strong success that he's had in the NYPD uniform. And as you mentioned, Tyler Stark, save after save, especially in that final 10 minutes. And really, on that power play in the last 2:30, stood tall, made a couple of big stops. Got to give a lot of credit to the penalty killers that were out there as well, guys, because
absolutely.
Will Cullen cleared pucks out numerous times. You had O'Donohue laying out to block some shots. Bozer out there blocking shots. Sean Hart had a solid game tonight. 2 ways. Some of the rookies, Bridgewood, McCann, made their presence felt. I said it during the broadcast. It seemed like Bridgewood, as this game ticked on, didn't get much ice in the first, but by the 3rd, it seemed like he was out there every other shift. And that just showed the kind of game that he had here today. And, you see some guys out here hugging it out. Puppa and Hart, those guys have known each other forever. They grew up playing together, Long Island Edge. Still best friends to this day, despite wearing the opposite uniforms and on the ice and when they go to work each day.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show, again, they might drop the gloves a little bit, they might fight, but these 2 teams, they have so much respect and love for each other.
Oh, they do. And that was another big point, and that was these guys are, like you mentioned, almost all of them know each other from one connection or another, from their youth or just their playing throughout. And obviously it's very highlighted with Matt Zay, and the captain, or sorry, the assistant captain in O'Donohue, Dan O'Donohue, playing for Mercyhurst. Obviously, it was a tough week for Mercyhurst. And so, just again, Tyler Stark from the north, suffering the northernmost place that any of these guys are coming from. Gets it done in the last seconds.
So we're going to turn it over to Alex Anthony now. Presentation of the MVP trophies. And, of course, the collection of the cup for the PD captains.
Once again, congratulations to the FDNY MVP, Nick Battaglia. And now presenting the annual Michael Gallagher MVP Award to the most valuable player for the NYPD hockey team, please welcome, from the New York City Police Department, the Gallagher family.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate
The NYPD, who are victorious in the 52nd
George
annual
Anzulis
NYPD
with the
versus
trophy,
FDNY
taking that
hockey
lap.
game.
We said it. These guys, they're so happy. They're so proud to wear that NYPD uniform, not just the hockey jersey, the actual uniform every day when they go to work. And it's been a long time coming for a lot of guys on the ice right now. 10 years they've been waiting for victory. And you see Anzulis passing it off to Jimmy Hall, and you know he's happy as heck right now to be lifting that trophy above his head.
It's a moment that they're never gonna forget, gonna relish for as long as they live. I mean, when you go 10 years trying to achieve a goal and you don't get there, and then you finally climb the mountaintop, you're gonna take in that view for a little bit.
It's going to be a long year on the flip side for FDNY as well. Of course, still got to feel pretty good about their game. A huge effort tonight. Come back, tie the game twice. Had a chance up until the final second to get it tied once again. But you know, FDNY, or NYPD I should say, going to rub it in for the next couple months before both teams prepare for next season.
365 days before we're back for the 53rd annual edition of the FDNY NYPD Heroes Hockey Game. And this time, it's the NYPD. So 2 years of LISN here. We got an FDNY win and an NYPD win. I mean, someone's got to take the cake next year for us here. But an unbelievable game. 3-2 the final score. The City of New York Police Department picking up victory as the MVP, Dan O'Donohue, taking his lap now. The MVP for the FDNY was Nick Battaglia. And again, so much respect for the players out on the ice, for the effort that they put in today, but more importantly, for the effort and sacrifice that they put forth each and every day when they don their uniform and punch the clock to go to work.
Yeah, it's more than a game for these guys, and you know, on behalf of course, all us and everyone here in New York, just a big thank you to these guys. I mean, the least they could do is go out on the ice and put on a game like this for us, and just everything else they do in the community. It's unbelievable. So thank you very much to the NYPD, the FDNY, EMS, everyone out there for keeping us safe.
And so much money raised today for so many incredible charities. It should not be lost at all, as this is all just one big giant charity event for the men and women that keep everyone safe.
An incredible day of hockey here at UBS Arena sees the NYPD, the finest, take down the bravest of the FDNY by a final score of 3-2. Want to thank you all so much for being a part of our broadcast today, of course, for supporting the first responders playing out on the ice today, and of course our first responders that don't participate in this great game but sacrifice themselves every single day when they go to work, as mentioned. On behalf of everybody here behind the scenes at LISN, Wally Mitchell, Paul Trentini, Gabe Takuri, Sam Musnick, Rowan Loddick, our on-air talent today, Kevin Broderick, Brady Campbell, and Ryan Brannigan. My name is Travis Quigley. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Final score, NYPD 3, FDNY 2, and we'll see you back here in 2027 for the 53rd edition of the Hockey Heroes Classic.